Oh boy, it looks like we're live. Yeah, I think we're live. Possibly. Everybody, let us know if
We're
we're
live.
live. Debo told me since I'm in the in the father seat, the adult seat, I guess. I don't know. I guess I'm leading the show or starting the show off at least. Obviously, right below me we have Debo. Obviously, everybody knows Debo. And to my that way, we have Arthur, Fishing Daddy 401. Arthur, I believe you were the man, the enlightened Debo with the um, beautiful technology known as Bluetooth
Oh,
earbuds.
that's
That's
right. I got
awesome.
mine in too. So now we can get up
Yeah,
and run around that basement of his there.
yeah, exactly. We
Yeah,
can, get our drinks in and whatever.
I appreciate that a lot because my stupid desktop computer thing doesn't have Bluetooth built in, so I had to get like a little adapter deal that plugs into it. So Arthur,
Hmm.
you're the man. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Yeah, so we got ourselves a beautiful Saturday evening. How you fellas doing? Anything new? Anything interesting happened over the last week since, we talked last?
For me, no, man. We got we'll be doing an unboxing tonight. I've got a cool unboxing. Tonight's theme, since we have Arthur on, we were also going to have Mr. Rundle on from the Bait Cave. Y'all have heard me talk about him. He and Mr. Marling are who got me into bait making and who also got Arthur into bait making. So we'll start off with that story once I hand it over to him because it's a pretty cool story. It's a small world. I think that's we always say that, but like when you actually have something that kind of comes full circle like this, I think it's pretty cool. But anyway, we've got a cool unboxing tonight. I'll be doing from another small bait maker who's making all this stuff by himself. I've had this box for way too long and haven't unboxed it. He's got a crap ton of talent. So we'll be talking some bait making. We'll be doing some unboxing and hanging out with Arthur. Arthur, you all have heard me shout him out multiple times. He's actually still on my board as a winner. I painted him up some stuff. That's one thing I was going to talk about. So tomorrow I should be launching a drop of a whole bunch of topwater lures that I
Ooh.
painted up. These are some of the new Do It topwater blanks. Turned out absolutely awesome. Y'all have seen me throw this one. Oops, it's got my glasses cleaner on it. Sorry. Y'all have seen me throw this one in a bunch of videos that worked extremely well. So I've tested them. I painted, I don't know, probably 25 top waters. This one's specially for Arthur. He wanted the cheetah print when I had some swim baits, but I already sold it. So got him that. I've got a couple of pretty cool like big topwater walkers as well. These are like the big Zara Spook Chrome. Kind of hard to see in the light, but I'll throw one of those in for him. So we'll have some fun stuff going up. But tonight is kind of about bait making, and we'll let everybody in the chat kind of direct us to because we'll get, I'm sure, off topic about 1,000 times. But Arthur, give us your elevator speech of how did you get into bait making? How did this all kind of come to fruition? What the heck are you doing here with me on this live tonight? Why did you accept this? What are you doing? What are you doing?
So I'll give you the story. So I had been buying soft plastics and baits from, I like to buy from smaller makers or small businesses as much as I can. Kind of started buying from Rundle and Marling kind of through Rundle. I don't know, it's been 2 or 3 years now. Had a family member out in Missouri we were heading out to go see during COVID, so flying wasn't an option at the time. And on my way out there, my lovely wife had reached out to Rundle and said, "Hey, my crazy husband is driving halfway across the country. Would you guys want to fish with him by any chance?" And it was right around my birthday, so it was actually a pretty awesome birthday present. So my wife reached out to Rundle. He called me on the ride over there and was like, "Hey, if you want to go fishing, stop by the bait cave." So went by there, met Rundle, met Marling, shot some epic bait molds. 5.6-inch prey bait was the first bait
I was
I
going to
ever
bring
made.
that up. I was going to bring that up too. Yeah. So Mr. Marling and Rundle work with the Epic Bait guys, of course.
Yeah.
And I think either Jason or his wife are in here tonight. I posted them up. So if you guys are bait makers and are looking for any sort of molds, they have a bunch of open pour stuff, injection stuff. As nice of folks as you can meet, super good people. I'm actually going to share their stuff here on the side while Arthur's talking so I can show some of these because they have some really neat molds that nobody else makes. Like they have they bought they started in, I think, his garage or something, right? With like one and then moved
Yeah, in
to,
Alabama. That's where they started making molds. And so right around the time I was maybe just after I was buying them from Rundle and Marling, they were pouring some silicone molds, some custom stuff that Nate had made. And then they hooked up with Epic. And like I said, I was out there first bait I shot was see that top one there with the pink there, 5.6 inch upper prey rate was the first bait I ever shot. I have a 7.5 inch version here on the desk, but yeah, that was the first bait I ever made. Went back to Rhode Island, and then when I went back to pick up my mother-in-law out that way, swung through Iowa again and went fishing with them again. So it's been a good relationship. I've gotten to know them very well. I've been out there a few times and visited, but that's what got me hooked into bait making. Once I saw kind of how things were done and what could be done, it took off from there. I guess you could say I was hooked.
Pong Yang said, "Fish Daddy, blink twice if Dizzle or Devin strong armed you into the live."
No, I'm happy to
Yes,
support. I'm happy
he
to be
wants
here.
to be here. You love being here with us. No, Arthur's a good cat. We didn't have to strong arm him. We talk behind the scenes and stuff. He's an awesome dude. Bill says the bearded bait makers brotherhood. My God, that is funny as hell. Randall, we need to get. If Randall didn't live in Nebraska now, 5 hours away, I would strong arm him into making jigs in my garage while I'm working. But
you got some War Eagle molds there?
Okay,
dude,
let's do it.
I modified that one mold to make it exactly like the War Eagle mold. You could be pumping out as many of those as you wanted, but
yeah.
Come on, Randall. Come on.
Wait. No, don't shake your head at me, boy. Do you see how I'm doing that? I'm looking down at you right now.
No, don't do that to me, Randall. So yeah, Arthur, it's funny because that's exactly how I started too. Like I had never done any sort of bait making ever. It was really Rundle and Marling that took me under their wings and got me completely into bait making. And I've made, the funny thing is, when I met them, I had no idea how to do that stuff. And they were generous as hell. Like, oh yeah, whatever you make, you take it. I'm like, I gotta give you some money or something. They're like, no, don't do that. So I know the next time I came back, I brought food and we had a grill out and they're like, oh yeah, we got, other Nate had deer burgers and stuff. We had deer burgers.
Oh, yeah, Nate Jones.
Yeah, and just hanging out. I'm like, dude, this is cool as hell. So typical Iowa guys, just come have fun, hang out, have a dad pop, and let's eat some food. So yeah, it's cool that we both kind of got started the same way with those two knuckleheads getting us into it, and now we've got an addiction.
Yep, and I've turned it into a little small business. I post on my website once in a while. I don't have anything on there right now, but if anybody's looking for stuff, the best way is usually Instagram. I post when I have something available. Once in a while, I'll load some stuff on the website, but lately I've been prepping for a tackle show in March, so I'm trying to get 50 or 60 bait boxes that I make ready for the show. So I've been plugging away at that.
That's cool as hell. Yeah, everybody, we've got we're creeping up on 200 people here. Go give Mr. Fish Daddy 401 a follow. Check out his stuff. Check him out on Instagram because I think he's trying to get to you're almost there, right?
I'm at 2996, so yeah, almost 3,000.
Let's get him to 3,000. If we get Arthur to 3,000, we'll do a giveaway tonight. That's the giveaway. We have to get him to 3,000. I'll do a giveaway. If not giving anything away. Let's see. What else do we have? Why is Dizzle wearing his hat wrong again? Oh, he must have switched it. He must have been listening. I got some War Eagle molds for you. Ooh, Patrick, you got some War Eagle molds? I want some War Eagle molds. Let's see. You're wearing the wrong hat, Debo. Yeah, I don't have an epic hat. I have no problem sending folks their way. Like Arthur and I. There, he's got the shirt on. I was talking to him before, and they're as good folks as you can meet. And like I said, cool, different stuff. So they work with Marling and Rundle. Hold on a second.
He got up.
Different baits. These I was actually going to share an unboxing soon because talk about somebody cool. Every time me and Rundle go fishing, usually he'll hand me some stuff. But this is I forget which one this is called.
That's the whip wad.
The whip wad. So it's a swim bait. So it's got the cut in the center like a regular swim bait, but instead of having the tail, it's got the curly tail on it. Then they've also got, this was one that Marling actually hand carved.
I was gonna say that's a pretty trick mold. The whip wad, it has dual inserts, so you can shoot it with or without the hook slot. If you want a solid belly and you're gonna throw it on a jig head, you can shoot it that way.
Yeah, so he's talking about this. There's a metal slot, piece that goes in there to give you that. I can get it here. Give you that open belly, which is really, really neat. So you can see my thumb sticking up in there. It gives you a better hookup ratio when the hook pushes up in there. And then stuff like this, stuff that you're just not going to find anywhere that you can open pour. How cool is that thing?
This is a 7.5 prey bait here. So if you see, hopefully the glare isn't killing it too bad. There we go. This hook slot here fits in, and there we go. So when that's in here, it gives you that little belly hook slot. So you can also get blank inserts, so they'll fit. It's basically the same thing but cut. So you can shoot them with or without the hook slot on most of Epic molds. I think pretty much all of them Jason has hook slot deletes designed for them.
So it doesn't have it or whatever.
Yeah, if you choose to not use a hook slot, if you put them on a jig head, then you may want more meat in the body.
All the time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I guess that would be true. But I think there's enough there to use a jig in it or a maybe not. Yeah, I don't know. I like the hook slots. I think they're a great addition. So people are already saying we got you over 3K on Instagram already. Holy smokes! Y'all are awesome. Spreading the love. 309. Keep him going. Let's see how high we can get him. The higher we get him, the better giveaway I'll do. I don't know what I'll do, but that's fun. Okay. So speaking of molds and stuff, so we're not going to only talk about bait making stuff tonight because I know people are going to be like, well, I don't make baits. I'm not going to watch this. This is dumb. But if you make baits, we're going to get into that. And then we're going to kind of get into some other stuff too, random questions, and kind of play the round table roulette of how each of us would answer because we all fish. Arthur, I don't know if Southeast is in here, but he is already following. Brendan is another big bait guy. Arthur throws a lot of big baits. So if you big bait fans, you tough guys that need to throw the big baits, Arthur likes to do that. So we'll kind of go all around. But yeah, my fancy slippers. I know I'm completely matching tonight. Dude, these slippers, these have like I don't know what the furry insert is, but my God, they're comfortable. Sorry, there's hair and stuff all over them.
I got slippers
I'm a huge
similar.
Slipper guy. Slippers or no slippers?
The Hey Dudes. I love the Hey Dudes.
I was just looking at Rain. I didn't know you had Hey Dudes. There was they had some black and gold ones on sale. I was gonna get some Hawkeye colored Hey Dudes.
Yeah, I got a couple of pair. These are the new house shoes.
Coot is on here. Yeah, Fish Daddy and his wife make some awesome stuff. Yeah, his wife actually was the first one that I watched doing. They would do like a skin pour, and I don't know if you have any of those around you, Arthur, but she would do what's called a skin pour, and I don't have any molds here, but she would take one of those molds like we were showing here from Epic. Take one of these molds, and I'll show you.
I don't have a skin pour, but I've got a mold I can kind of put hands on.
So she would take one of these. They would do, or actually Arthur would do the first step, pour like just a thin layer of plastisol in there, dump it out, and then she would come back with like her like makeup type stuff and like colorants and all this different stuff. Yeah. All this stuff and paint the inside, and then they would pour layers over it. So it gives it like this 3D put together look. It's cool as hell. I'd never seen anybody do that. So
that's why I picked that up from same guy, Rundle and Marling. And it's a cool technique. You can kind of take open pour bait making to a different level instead of just layers. Like here's an open pour bait I have here. Just some kind of clear with what's in there. Maybe some black and gold flake in the belly, a little bit more of a chartreuse color there and darker green on top. Instead of just layers of color, you can get depth too because you're pouring on the surface of the mold and you're building in a different direction. If that makes sense.
You're building from the sides outside in as opposed to just belly up or whichever way the swim bait goes.
Correct.
Yep. Yeah, they do a lot of cool stuff, those guys. Let's see. Nathan Hovey says Fish Daddy would make great with the Santa hat with that beard. He's looking pretty Santa handsome over there.
My wife runs a dance studio, and we tried to do Santa one year where I was Santa, and she got some like costume makeup paint to paint my beard, but it was all solvent based, and it was a huge mess trying to paint this beard white. Yes, run those on a B-stroke. Most of the open pour swim baits from Epic are designed to work with owner's line of swim bait hooks, but quite a few other ones work. BKK is another good alternative. Their Titan Diver is a great hook. But yeah, the most part of their open pours, they go from all the way from the 4/0 to, I think I have some hanging here, like 12/0, up to like the Boss is a 12. This is a 7.8 inch, 3.5 ounce bait.
Big dog stuff. Bassil's Chap, another good follower. He said, I think I tried to order from you. Another fellow roadie. You dang roadies.
Oh.
Let's see. Okay, so I want to know what's your favorite mold to work with over there? I'll share them again, but what's your favorite one? Like if you're gonna go out and just have fun, what's your favorite mold over on Epic?
Favorite mold to pour or to fish with, you want to say? How do you
Either,
want to go
whichever. Oh, there's the Whipwad that I was just showing you guys that Rundle did.
Whipwad's fantastic. I've got a soft spot for that 5.6-inch prey bait, and that's probably my favorite to fish with too. One, that was the first first bait I ever made was that 2-color laminate. It was like a pearl silver belly with like a bluish silver top on it. I went right for the dual laminate right off the bat, first mold I shot. So the 5.6-inch prey bait, I probably caught, I'd say between that and the 2.3-inch prey bait, but I've caught quite a few fish on that 5.6-inch prey bait.
There they are.
Fantastic bait. Yeah, Jason and Amanda.
There's stories out there. Yeah, go check out their website. Good folks. I was gonna say this is actually my favorite that they have. I know you and Klondike made me some. You made me some of these, and Klondike made me some cool buzzers. Before you guys sent me these, actually, what's that?
Was that Big Karen? Is that the fish you caught on that one?
Yep. I think it was Big Karen. So I actually went over to Rundle and Marling's one night, and I was going to make a bluegill one of these, and it turned out like I kind of botched it, and it looked very bullfroggy. And I think that was 2 or 3 years ago. This caught me a 6-pounder on this, just with a belly weighted hook on it, just running it over the top. It's got a really good buzz and plop. It's got holes in the legs there, so it does like a little extra bubble trail from those holes. So it's just little cool stuff like that they do to put some kind of different looks on the molds and stuff. But they do some really neat stuff over there.
I even throw those on a 4-aught beast hook, like a weighted swim bait hook, and throw them right over the pads, drag them right across. The top of that bait has a little indent. It's kind of got a curve to it, and you can just tuck that hook in there, and not weedless, but it'll get you out of some trouble.
Yep. Yeah, those are pretty sweet. Okay, so the prey baits, we got the frogs. What else? What would you say, like if a beginner was looking to get into some of their stuff, what's maybe one of the easiest, either open pours or I don't know. I'm not sure of all their, I really only worked with their open pour. I think this was an injectable. I think I did a double. Yeah, this was an injectable.
So my recommendation for somebody getting into making baits, you need to buy an injector to do a lot of molds. But an open pour mold that you can get away with, and you can go steal your wife or your mom's pancake griddle and throw it on as a hot plate, or get a heat gun and use it also. The Jackhammer series on Epic's website, this is the 5-inch. You can see the detail in there, but that's their 5-inch jackhammer, and I think the start of this line is $65. So for not too much money, you can get into. This is a milled CNC aluminum open pour mold. I know you mentioned in one of your recent videos you were shooting some. Was it the
Sandcast?
What was the name? Yeah, the sand. I forget the name of that bug. Correct. The Sandcast molds versus CNC. CNC are a little bit more. There's a different process that goes into them. But to get into a CNC mold that's custom like that, I mean, the jackhammer is fantastic. There's a 3, a 4, and a 5-inch version right now on their site. I'm not just trying to sell Epic bait molds, but that's all I use. They're fantastic, great company. But these are really good to get.
Nothing wrong with talking about stuff you use and believe in, man. Nothing wrong with that at all.
These are a great mold to get you into bait making, and you can do quite a bit with them. You can pour 2 or 3 colors in this mold, no problem. So if somebody's looking to get into it with this, a gallon of plastisol, a Pyrex cup, and a hot plate, you're good to go.
Steven says Dizzle's over there watching jig porn. Yeah, he's probably on the War Eagle side again, going through. He named all the. I was talking to him before, and he's like, "Hey, do you know War Eagle has this many different colors?" And then named all the colors off. I'm like, "What are you doing, Randy? I don't need to know all the colors. He's got them like memorized, but it's what he does in his open time."
There's a good question at 854. Nathan Harvey, what would one need if he wanted to just do remelts of old plastics other than a mold and an injector? Pretty much Pyrex cup, old butter knife, microwave. Maybe so.
I would say an extra microwave too. I would say don't use your home microwave because the plastisol stinks.
Don't throw hot pockets in there again.
Yeah, don't cook your hot pockets after you've cooked plastisol. Get
It's
and get 1,000 watt, because I cheaped out on
Yeah.
Amazon and got like a 700 watt. And dude, it takes way more time to heat up stuff in there. It's junk. I don't know.
Craigslist. I mean, I don't know if you
Oh
want to
yeah,
deal with the people
sure.
selling used microwaves on Craigslist, but if you want to pick up a microwave cheap, you can get one for $20 on Craigslist or Marketplace
Good
all day
call.
long. Like Epic
I've
suggested too, they have a vert worm that's
boom,
an open
Bruce.
pore worm mold that you can pour if you're not crazy about like the jackhammer swim bait. You can get into a worm that's an open pore, but open pores are relatively. An injector can get expensive, so if you want to just deal with open pores, you don't have to buy another $100 to $300 piece of equipment. You can just pour by hand.
Austin, I think I'm going to save it till next week. So next, let me bring up my calendar here. What is tomorrow? Jesus. Next week is the 17th. I think we'll probably do our pre-Christmas holiday, whatever you believe in. Don't believe in anything. Pre-Merry Holla, Xmas, Feashmas, Christmas special next week. And I've got a box of stuff that I'm going to have. I'll have to unbox it here because if you all didn't know, Dizzle lives out in Nebraska now, so he can't actually do it because I used to just be able to drive to his house, but now I can't. It's like 17 hours away, basically. But we'll do a little unboxing of special Christmas things that I got for Dizzle because I love the guy so much. I got him some fun stuff, so it'll be a fun one. So stay tuned next week, Austin. What's your favorite color, Arthur? So if you get into, and this is going to be a round robin, Russian roulette, whatever you want to call it. What's your favorite color of plastics to make?
I like using a lot of the color shift stuff. Alpha Pigments makes some really nice color shift pigments. So powders, they're mica powders. Actually, I can grab.
Yeah, I've
what
never.
a bag looks like here.
I've seen those.
This is a off-brand just from Amazon, but it's powder. It's similar stuff that they put into makeup. But like I said, Alpha makes some good stuff that you can get all kinds of effects and color shift that'll turn like blue to green to reds or golds. That's good stuff to do because you can catch the light in them. But for me to fish with, it might sound crazy, like I'm boring. I fish with black or white. Like if it's murky, cloudy water, I throw black. If it's clear water, I throw white. Like just for myself, I'm pretty basic.
The only reason more people don't throw black is because it's boring. Nobody wants to go to a tackle shop and buy just a regular black lure. It's like that's boring as hell. So that's when you start to get in these spinoffs like, oh, but if I had black with a little hint of purple flake and a purple highlight, dude, that's so much different. Or you get to black and blue or all these other things. It's pretty funny how people get onto that stuff. But people have been catching huge fish, lots of fish on just a regular all black silhouette dark worm for forever. It's pretty funny.
Yeah. Dizzle, what do you like to throw? What's your go-to color for worms?
Okay, yeah, for me, so I would say like if I only had one, did you say me or Dizzle? I'm sorry, did I just butt in?
Either or, whoever's going first.
Dizzle, you're leading the show. You've been quiet up there. Get off the Warrigal website and join in the conversation.
They don't have a website, but anyway, I personally I'm a fan of Okeechobee Craw. That black blue flake with the green belly to it.
Yep.
I don't know what it is. It just seems like it's something I love to throw. And then just a regular black blue. Usually some sort of flake in there. As far as any other, Debo is going to love this, but I remember cutting my teeth a long, long time ago with some tequila sunrise, just like Debo and his old man used to as well. That was a color that just seemed to work in a, what is it, like a 6-inch worm? Is it Berkeley worm or is it a Yum worm?
Berkeley power bait. Yeah, Yum might have them. Culprit and Berkeley. Really, Dad's was Berkeley. I ended up getting into the Culprit stuff. I had one good day I remember on Red Shad, which is like this kind of maroonish black. And I thought for sure it was going to be my color to beat Dad because I was always looking for that like special one. I'm like, dude, this is going to be it. And I don't think I ever really caught fish on it again. And then I ended up going back to the tequila sunrise. And I was never like anywhere close to as good as Dad with worms. He's amazing at fishing them. So I was always trying to catch up. But
I just did some open pores with the bait plastics as a nice red shad color. I did some open pores, red shad belly, black on the top, some black flake mixed in. And just quick, somebody had mentioned doing open pores. If you're doing remelts, Zoom, that fancy, not Zoom, the stretch stuff. Why can't I think of the name of it? The Elastec.
Yep.
Can't remelt that stuff like you do regular plastic. So if anybody's doing that, that's different stuff.
Okay, so real quick, I'm trying to get this to work for the first time. I think it worked. I don't know how these will go about working. So I gifted memberships because Hella showed me how to. I don't know how. Oh, there we go. Okay, they're popping in. So Hella showed me that. I have to tip my hat to everybody that went and subscribed to Arthur on Instagram. It's cool that people go and support other folks. So I just dropped a 10 membership gift there for folks to join the DEBO'S Fish and Clan. So hopefully I'll enjoy that. I appreciate all the members. I didn't get to say that in the beginning, but I appreciate everybody that supports me, whether you're a member or not. Just watching and leaving a thumbs up is more than enough. But I wanted to go out and do that quick. So thank y'all. Love you. Let's see. Next, what do we got? Oh, mine real quick. So Dizzle, I like that you had those. I don't know what those worms were there that you were holding up.
They were Tequila Sunrise.
But what were they? Those weren't Berkeley Power Bay, were they?
They were.
Oh, they were. Oh, okay. Well, I'm proud of you. I'm very proud of you, Randall.
It seems like every once in a while you get like a darker pour. There's not as much purple in there. Or
So,
that
yeah,
light
and I
color.
do like the ones. I like the ones where they're like more of a black and then have that like deep purplish with like a little slit of pink in it. Not as much the ones that are like heavy. Hey, Rundle, give me a thumbs up when your audio is good. When you're all set. I don't know if you can hear me. He's creeping in the cave here. So my favorite color, is green pumpkin. I'm gonna text Rundle real quick and see. Oh, he might have already texted me.
I have to say some of the, maybe I'm a little bit more particular, but I don't know if you feel the same way, Debo. When you're making baits, do you measure your colorant when you add that? Do you count drops or do you just go till it looks good?
Oh, all the time. If you can't tell, I'm very OCD about organization, about drops of colorant. No, every time I go out there, I kind of cry because I'll have a color that I loved and I have no idea how I made it. I don't measure at all. I'm really bad when it comes to that, dude.
So I have a few standard colors like June bug, green pumpkin, black flake. Oh, Mr. Marlin's in here. Big donation. So anyway, there's a few colors: June bug, green pumpkin, watermelon, red flake. Those standard colors that I write down recipes for. But I do find, like Dizzle just mentioned, when you buy baits in the store, a lot of times you'll find inconsistency in the color depending on different manufacturers, different baits, different colors. So you might find one that's a little bit lighter, a little bit darker. I really try to measure stuff. Like I'll count my green pumpkin's an easy recipe. It's 2 cups of plastic, 60 drops of green pumpkin, some black flake, done. Like that's how I do it. There's no big secret.
He's not there anymore. Sorry,
He's
go
in
ahead.
and out. So, like I said, I try to measure mine and be consistent. And I don't know, not that I need to sell buy-in from small makers like DEBO'S lures and that kind of stuff.
No. I support it on my channel. We're going to do an unboxing here because that's going to be part of the giveaway. But
yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
support your local bait maker.
The quality control and the consistency you'll get is, I mean, from a good maker is much greater than what you're probably going to find in the store. Hey, there he is.
Well, the cool thing, yeah, and I wouldn't even say like the quality because there's a lot of really good quality, stuff you can buy off the shelf, and especially price. Like generally, when you go to a smaller bait maker, you might pay a little bit more. The big thing is you're going to oftentimes get colors and things that you can't find at the store, and you're supporting somebody small doing it in their garage or basement. That's the real cool part of it that I like is
this pays for my daughters to go to dance class.
Where can you get this? What store have you seen that sells these?
Nowhere.
No, right? You can get all the cool new stuff, and the unboxing I'm going to do here and give some of this away. This is from, let me see. I need to remember his name. I've had this sitting around for way too long. Arthur and I were just talking about him before. He does some crazy cool stuff. The Never-Ending Project List. So we're going to get into some of this. Rendell, are you froze over there, or are you just fascinated by the discussion? do this
Well,
if I'm your
To
favorite
me, it
YouTuber.
seems like everybody's talking at once.
You're froze on my screen.
How cold is it over there in Iowa?
I don't know. His internet must have been struck by the cold. Are you below zero over there, Rundle?
Possibly. Now, like
No?
you mentioned colors too. Buying from a small bait maker, I can make any color you want, any sort of, if you want red flake, blue flake, and white or silver flake in a black worm, I can do it.
Yep.
That's what's
Yeah,
cool
and
too.
yeah,
So
stuff that you're not going to see. So actually, I'm going to get into some of this. Rundle, I'm going to remove you. I don't know if you can still hear me. I'm going to remove you because you're completely froze. You're not working. I'll jump out of there. So real quick, sorry, Mr. Marling jumped in to watch us with a $20 bomb. My friend, you did not need to do that. Y'all go follow Marling Baits. Yeah, look at that.
That's the logo right there, Mr. Marling Baits. That's the 7.5-inch epic prey bait via his design.
The man has more skill in his pinky than I have in my entire body when it comes to bait making. It's pretty cool stuff.
Debo, I was blown away the day that we were out fishing and he showed up.
I was just going to say randomly.
And like
I was just going to say that story real quick.
One combo with one lure on it, and that's all he was throwing. I was like,
"So what he made? That was one he made for pike and muskie."
Oh yeah.
If that was me, I would have lasted fishing all of 6.5 seconds, and it would have been gone. And I would have been like, "Well, I'm gonna hopefully find a crankbait on the ground or twister tail and a split shot."
So the funny thing was that one is Randall had asked me before, like, how's Marling? I saw you fish with him and stuff. I'm like, dude, he's as cool as can be. And he's got, I don't even know how many followers Marling has by now, probably 17 million. The guy deserves all of them. But he's like, is he a cool guy? I'm like, dude, he's cool as heck. And it wasn't long after that, we were fishing at a local lake. And there's this like weirdo like that drove by and we're like, what the hell is this like clown doing? And we park and we're getting ready to walk over and he's like, oh, hey guys. It's Marling. We're like, oh, what's up, dude? He's like, can I come fish with you? We're like, yeah, come on, let's go. And we all just kind of had the day of it, and it's funny as heck. But yeah, as Iowa and as down to earth as you can get. So
that's somebody
Marling, everybody go follow them.
That's somebody who puts in work with lures. So when he comes up with a design, or just say the chipmunk, that's an older video, but the chipmunk, he will go out, fish that chipmunk until he gets a fish or loses it, like one or the other. And that's so you'll, like you said, when you see him come out with one combo, like that's it. I'm putting in work with this bait and seeing what I can get on this bait, how many fish, and what I can do with it. Yeah, it's fantastic.
Did you happen to see the perch swim bait that he made? The thing.
No, dude, I don't watch enough. The last one I made was the piranha one, which I really wanted. I might just go over to his house and punch him and take it. So,
like this perch, like literally, it looks like you just pulled the perch out of the water. Because it's got that gloss on it that makes it look like it's wet and the sheen. And, dude, his stuff is ridiculous. Yeah.
My wife has an offset spinner hard body swim bait. So it's a hand carved wood swim bait with an offset spinner on it, painted like a perch. And it's unbelievable. And that's my wife has that. She throws that all the time.
That's Mike. That's right. That's why we had to kick Rundle out. Here's Beard Game wasn't good enough. But shout out to Epic Bait and Molds. Thank you guys for the $20 bomb.
That's awesome.
Matching Nate's donation. Cheers to making baits. Yes, Epic has some good stuff. Go check them out. I'll leave them linked down below. I didn't do that before. I should have. Okay. Hopefully Rundle has his fake beard on. Can you hear us? Or are you just gonna judge us the whole time? It's like you're judging us.
Sit there judgingly.
I don't think he can.
I can hear you. Are you there?
We can hear you, but you're froze again. We might have to do a trial run. Rundle.
He's not frozen. He's working. It's going.
He's frozen on mine.
Well, okay, yeah, maybe he's frozen. Yeah.
I've got an obscure reference. I don't know if anybody remembers this. It was an old episode.
We'll get Rundle on. I'll hit up Rundle. Go ahead. Sure.
It was an old episode of Home Improvement, Tim the Toolman Taylor, and he builds a soundproof booth, and he tells Al it's soundproof, but it's not soundproof, and Al's calling him an idiot, and he's doing this, and he's like, I can hear you, Tim, and he doesn't click for a second, then he realizes, wait, if he can hear Tim, then Tim can hear him. Like, yeah, that's all-time one of my favorite episodes.
That's funny. Did you ever watch Last Man Standing?
A little bit. I haven't watched it a ton. I don't do cable. I've just got I do all the streaming stuff. So we'll
Yeah,
run through a whole series of TV and then do that. But that's on my list.
I want to say it streams on something, but yeah, they do a lot of the throwbacks to
Yeah.
Tool Time and stuff like that. Like Al shows up. Basically everyone shows back up, and it's pretty funny.
Here's a good one. Friend of the channel, Shan the Man O'Gorman. Shan, I hope you're doing well. He actually just asked when we're going to go down to Florida and fish with him, Randy. I said, I wish I could go now because I hate winter in Iowa.
Let's go.
I've got a question too about Florida fishing, and I want to remember. I'm going to write it down on the desk here so I remember to ask it. But sorry, go ahead.
No, I think this question is going to be for you. You're the big bait guy. I will say the only aha moment I've ever really had with big baits. Randy and I were at one of our local lakes. I was throwing a 7-inch jointed glide, or it might even be 6-inch. It was the Thunderhawk glide. It might only be 6 inches. But I don't know how many follows, probably 10 different follows. And I don't think any fish that followed was less than like 2.5, 3 pounds. I had one come up and grab it at the bank and missed it and took off. But that was like the first aha moment where I've been like, dude, I am pulling fish out. And this is kind of the question that I ask big swim bait guys all the time is, so the place we're fishing is, if you can imagine, so here's the rocky fishing jetty. It drops off kind of decently and then goes out into the abyss. So there's no like I understand if you're throwing a big jointed glide bait next to a log or a bush, because they'll say, well, have something else there for a follow-up, right? A fluke or a jig, whatever. But when they're like in this open water, and I called, like 10 fish up, and I'm like, dude, some of them were probably like 4 or 5 pounds that were falling right up. And I'm like, dude, come on, bite it. Wouldn't commit. And people will say, throw a follow-up bait, but it's like, what the hell am I going to follow up? Like I was already throwing like swim jigs, chatterbaits, I don't remember what all that day, and didn't get any of those fish to bite. And then once I went to that bigger glide bait, had follow. So it's like a weird thing. I don't know. It's definitely not my deal. I'm not a big bait guy, but I don't know. Arthur, what's your take on?
Was that real quick, Debo? Was that was early in the season too, wasn't it? That was almost pre-spawn, or was it?
Oh God, I don't even remember when that was. Oh, speaking about not even remembering, you know what else? Once these go live, I just happened to think of this because I looked at the bag of stickers that Kuda sent me over there. Look what I got. This was from Bassin with Big Malone that told me the site. I finally got more DEBO stickers. So anybody that orders one of these topwater walking baits, I should have those all up on the site tomorrow. If you order any, I'll throw a couple of these in for you. Then I want to get these on the site. I have to figure out how to add like a sticker thing. I don't know if I can even do that, but I got some.
Yeah, I need one of those.
So.
Slap it on.
I'll throw it in. I'll throw it in. Anybody that wins a giveaway, and we'll do a giveaway winner tonight for getting Arthur over the hump that we were asking about. I'll throw in some of these to whoever wins. So
awesome.
Fun. Anyway, sorry, I cut you off there.
Sure. So to answer that, I find that bigger baits generally produce bigger fish, less fish by far, but you'll catch bigger fish with them. I actually had one that Nate made for me that I threw over the summer, a particular night we were fishing, but I got 2 big fish, about a 4.5 pound, and maybe another 3.5 fish, just under 4 on it. But that was it for the night. But that's all I was throwing. My brother-in-law, who I fish with often, caught a few more, but he's throwing poppers, he's throwing swim baits, he's throwing a little bit of everything. So I'm kind of more like Nate, where I'll go out for a night and I want to fish one particular bait. I know I can always wacky rig a green pumpkin stickworm and probably catch something. But, I really want to catch one on this particular bait, and that's what I'll throw for the night. So I've kind of changed up my fishing style a bit lately. So yes, I would agree that bigger baits produce more bigger fish and less smaller fish. If that makes sense.
I would. I don't know. It's like it's kind of a give and take because there's days where I've been out and I'm like, I think it all comes down to confidence. Like so often we go back to that. If I could throw something like this, or Randy could throw something like this, a jig all day and catch a bunch of fish. Had I been throwing a big, swim bait or something, would I have caught more? Would I have caught a bigger fish? I don't know. I think it depends on the situation, the time, and really just confidence of it. But, it works for certain people to throw that all day. Like if you've got one that you really want to catch them on and grind it, for me, I've kind of talked about it before. It's hard when I'm trying to get a video done. And it's like, if I'm just out of nowhere bringing this glide bait, nobody wants to watch me throw it for 5 hours and not catch anything, so it's like, kind of a give and take. But, Terrence here said, just started using some Hypershift and Pearl pigments today for some soft plastics. Wow, what a new world has been opened up for me. Aha, what's up, Fish Daddy? So hopefully that was due to you or some other folks that use some of those cool pigments and stuff. Somebody else said, and I want to know too, curious to hear that Florida fishing question.
Oh.
What is
Sure.
it?
So I'm going to Disney over the summer, and I didn't realize Disney does guided boat trips at Disney. So they'll either take you out on, I think, 4 or 5 people on a pontoon, or 2 to 3 people on like a Ranger, like a bass boat, for guided trips. So I'm actually pretty curious on if anybody's got any like good secret spots at Disney to fish. Like, hit me up. I'm looking for some spots. I'm gonna throw some big baits down there.
Nathan Hovey, I'm gonna have to block you for changing your damn picture. Yeah, I hadn't noticed that until you said it. It used to be something yellow, right? It was like a yellow background, and yeah, yellowish green background. Yeah, the monster largemouth. Hate it when people do that.
Well, everybody doesn't have a
Let's see.
fantastic logo avatar like DEBO does. So,
Well, mine's pretty boring. I mean, mine's pretty easy to check out. Check out the Bait Cave Bayou. The Bait Cave, I think, is what he's under. I don't know if he has like a personal one, but
yeah, his
to
is
the
Nick
Bait Cave.
Rundle 03. The like the username as it appears is the Bait Cave, but the handle is at Nick Rundle 03. I'll double check.
Oh, he's fancy here. Okay. Stubby, yeah, Stubby is actually not locked up. My wife and the girls are at my mom's house or my parents' house making Christmas cookies. There it is. Oh, Nick Rundle 03. Go hit him up. And Mr. Stubby is awfully quiet. I hope he's not on
he's in the garbage for sure.
No, so funny story. I don't know if I still have the picture. He is a garbage dog. He tears up the garbage. My garbage bin on the wall, I had to put in 2 like 100-pound cement anchors because he's a pretty stocky boy. We had a pretty big garbage pail, and he pulled it over. I had to put 2 at top, 2 at the bottom, drywall anchors, and put bungee cords around it at the top and bottom so he can't pull it over anymore. He usually never does that. He's a good boy. But Stubby, what are you doing? Hopefully you're just sleeping. Leave that pillow alone. She doesn't want any more dates with you. Let's see. Big baits are great for finding fish in new areas. Yeah, I do think that is pretty cool. Like a cool way to like find fish and show them, but I'm still not good at the follow-up.
Yeah, it's like, what do you do? Do you do like a kill? Do you kill it? Do you jerk it quick? I mean, I know that's one thing with the jointed baits I've always had, some kind of issue with. It's like I don't know what to do with my hands once I get to a certain point in time. It's like, are they just getting spooked because they didn't find enough interest in it to begin with, and then they're just like, oh nope, out of here. I don't, too close to the bank. I don't want to be here anymore.
I've had them come right up to the side of the boat too, and it's at almost like you freeze. You get your lure right at the side of the boat. Like, how much more do you want to reel? Is he going to move? You're like staring at each other down for a second too. That's always tough. Start figure eighting like the musky guys.
He was upstairs just sleeping away. I heard him get out of the chair. I'm sorry, I got you up, Mr. Stubby Dog.
Oh, Mr.
Sure
Stubby.
you weren't over there messing with that pillow again. How many times have I told you to leave that pillow alone? Okay. Anyway, yes, I will throw in stickers. Yeah, and that's the thing, dude, is yeah, you can throw big baits, you can throw the coolest, most expensive baits, it doesn't matter. Like, sometimes that just happens, dude. Every time I've been muskie fishing and thrown big muskie baits, I haven't caught a fish. Every muskie I've caught has been throwing regular bass baits. So what do you do?
My brother-in-law and I go out quite a bit. He's my usual fishing partner, and his biggest, or the biggest fish we had in the boat this year was on like a $3 top order popper, like just something simple he threw out, had it rigged up on like the 4th or 5th pole, and that was it. Just had right place, right time. Probably could have thrown anything at that point. It was just before spawn, and they were hungry, but it just happened to be.
Dub D's with the membership. Dub, thank you very much. Let's get into, so we're at 44 minutes. Arthur and Mr. Randall, if you guys see anything, I'm kind of scrolling down. I'm not too far behind. It's only at 8:17. People selling, asking questions. Stubby pillow report. No worries, Stubby. Yeah, he's here. He's a good boy. Let's see. burst it with speed. So Shan, are you talking about when you have a follow like that, like burn it real quick to get them to react to that? Because I've tried like doing the, the 180, get them to turn around and look at it. I've done like the real slow and let it die. Let's see. Mr. Khan, I am not fishing to Canada yet. That's a whole different deal you have to get into. So it's kind of BS, but for tax stuff and like my license thing, I'm only doing US right now, lower 48. I don't know how that would work. I've never had an Alaska order. But anyway.
I've shipped to Hawaii. See. That was just a flat rate US Postal Service box.
Yeah, it'd have to be different. I don't know how it would work on the site to do that. So yeah, he was saying yes. Okay, let's do an unboxing quick. Okay, so and Arthur was showing me, I didn't realize this, but the Never Ending Project list is a cool guy doing some different stuff. Can you guys hear me still?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Oh, I had no sound. Okay. Is a cool guy doing cool stuff, and Arthur was actually showing me he does a crankbait with an adjustable lip. So this lip that you can actually like do different depths where you can like, I don't know if it'd be like a ratchet deal or if it would.
I think he's got a screw in there where you can adjust the lip. Yeah. I don't know if it's full production or what he's doing, but yeah, he Never Ending Project list has some pretty cool stuff.
Okay, so starting out, these were some bluegill swim baits, and these have a harness and everything in them. So it's kind of like those storm swim baits. There's other people that do this. But he's done his complete own. This was a prototype that he sent me a long time ago. And I'm sorry, my friend, if you're just watching now. Let me see. He left me a note in here where they put it because I was going to read that in the unboxing. But I'm like, dude, tonight would be a perfect one because I'm going to give some of these away. He said, if any of these you deem cool enough to fish, keep them. Or he's like, otherwise give them away. I'm like, dude, you are crazy. Somebody needs to slap you. You do some awesome stuff. But this is him. I mean, he's made this mold. He's done all this with the plastic, painted it, everything. It's kind of cool because it's got like a square tail on back. So I'll throw one of these into the giveaway for you. He sent me two. One I'm going to have to fish. Randy, remember that time I was throwing one kind of like this on a spawning bass? And you caught the 4.5 pounder after my 30 minutes of trying with a jig. And you're like, you should have just thrown a jig 2 throws later. Like, oh, you should have just thrown yourself in the water.
I think it was 1 throw later.
Oh, here's the thing. Okay, so I wanted to say real quick. He said, blah, blah, blah. So he said, the small lure maker, there was some other stuff in there from things we had done before. He said, that's everything I sent is custom designed with the exception of the Epic Bait Mold stick worms. So again, Epic Bait Molds come into the conversation. Cool, folks. He said, keep them open-minded with some of these. He said, I'm just a bait maker. Some of these, he said, you might not deem to throw. He said, give them away. I'm like, dude, you are absolutely crazy. I've caught fish on most of the lures I've sent. I've actually caught some of my biggest fish and the most fish on these tiny yellow blunt-nosed minnows. So without reading everything he sent, I will give away some of these because these things are pretty sick. So he's done his own little mold of these. So they're like a little baby fish with the fins, the tail, a little bit of everything. Then he's done some of his, I don't know, I think these are a do-it mold. I forget which one that is. Little swim bait head. So also I'll throw some of those in. I'll keep a few for me to throw. Those I bet would be awesome for crappie. They're right at 2 inches long. So those are pretty sick. We'll throw some of those in. These, I'm going to have to keep these. Nobody's getting any of these. I don't think this is the Epic one. He said the stick bait mold. Arthur, you'll have to help me. But so I'm a huge fan of like the Hags Tornado, these ribbed type stick baits on a weighted wacky rig. So the thing with a weighted wacky rig, these rib type baits, if you look up like a Hags Tornado, they have these like rings in them that catch the water and often like bubble off. On their own, they sink really slow and I don't like them. But on a weighted wacky head, I think these are absolutely killer. And the weight like accentuates the wiggle down. So if you wacky rig one of these and he's got like I don't know what part of the worm that's called there, the hard like middle piece. If you do it right there at the hard middle piece, or Neko rig it right there, sick. And then they've got this like kind of flat spade tail that's gonna kick on the back. Those are sick. Nobody's getting any of these. I'm throwing these. Annie did. He knows I like the purple. Sorry, some of these I got to keep for myself. And these have the color shift in them like Fish Daddy was talking about.
Yeah.
You can't really see it, but it's got like a greenish blue shift to it. It's hard to see that stuff. Okay, so those are cool. I like the ribbed baits.
Please stop saying
rubbed. Why? What's wrong with saying ribbed? Randy, come on.
Hey,
Oh
it's
my
not
God,
me,
I didn't
it's-
know this. Okay, so I was just gonna say, twin tail grubs are something that have kind of gone by the
Yeah.
wayside. You might think twin tail is cool. What about quad tail? These have 4.
Holy crap!
I
That
want to
takes the
test
old,
these.
that takes the
Dude,
old
those-
Roland Martin helicopter lure to a new level.
Yeah, helicopter lure went this way. These
Yeah.
are like, I don't even know what these would look like in the water. These have 4 curly tails on the back. Dude, those are sick.
That's kind of reminds me of the very, very, very small Medusa.
The what?
It looks like a very small Medusa type of
Oh,
flaily
yeah,
leg
good
kind of
call.
thing.
Catch some baby pike on those. He did orange and then did, oh, he does 3 and 4 tail in each one of these. Also in the chartreuse. So I'll pack up some of those and throw in there. Those are pretty cool. He did some mini Ned craws. So these are some of his own Neds that he made, his mold and everything. These look pretty cool.
Yeah, Steve,
Kind of a flat
never-ending
look to
project
him.
list.
Hey,
Awesome
Debo, you want to
stuff.
go big screen on yourself?
I can.
Yeah, just
I don't
to
need
see
everything on me, but there we go. Cool look to them. Little natural looking craw. I like those. In green and brown. Throw some of those in. Okay, crankbaits. So this is not saying that I don't want to fish any his, but I've got crankbaits coming out my ears for stuff that I make. I will give these away. And I like that he's done his own paintbrush Fire Tiger details on this. How cool is that? And this is his own blank. This is not like a blank that you would buy. Arthur was saying he does his own 3D printing, and I don't know if this is a 3D or a wooden lure. That thing is sick. I like that. He also did an awesome little brown craw, brown and tan craw. Great work on that. And the last hard bait he put in was like a gill, kind of a gilly perch. And he put the hook protectors on. That's awesome as heck.
I love those things.
Was the craw ribbed? The craw was not ribbed. Oh, he also sent some more colors. Oh, okay. Some of these you won't get. So some of these I'm going to keep because he knows I like the purple. The purple chartreuse I'm going to have to keep. Sorry. No, they're not ribbed, but they are just regular little craws. Oh, and those are like the Hypershift too. Hypershift pearl into like green.
That looks like one of his own 3D molds too.
Those are dope. Yeah, those he said these are all his own. But I will throw some of these in. The chartreuse are awesome. But I'm going to keep those purple chartreuse. And then the heads. So for whoever wins this, he made heads specifically to fit those, which has to be his own head too, because these are like flat. These are not this is not a Do It Midwest thing. Like these are flat as flat can be, like a regular mushroom style Z-Man. So the thought process is when those land on the bottom, they're flat like that. And then the little crawl will be standing straight up doing this deal. So I will throw those in for you. I do not need terminal stuff. I can make my own, so I will share it. And that is awesome as heck that he sent those to do giveaway and keep some of this because, gosh, some of these are cool as hell. Okay, so these are going to be hard for me to give away because these remind me, we're going to do some testing here. Where are my old school guys at? What lure is this? What lure does this remind you of, old school guys? Can you name the lure that this was back in the old day? It was kind of veiny in here. It had like the little veins through it. It was this little like, and I know that's probably not the best. Randy, come on, Randy, get with it. This is
You're the
actually a
one
better
that can see me,
representation.
Debo,
This
just
one
saying.
might. So I don't know what he calls those, but those you could like Ned rig. You could rig them on a. We've already got people guessing it. It wasn't, I guess, that big of a secret. These kind of show you a little bit more of what it was. Does that ring a bell for anybody? We've already got people guessing them. But he's done these in pink.
Reaper, we see, yeah.
Yeah. So we've got the old school Reaper style of those. He's got pink. He's got green. He's got some gold. Dude does. Oh, and look it. I didn't even notice this. Correct answer, in case anybody was wondering. He labeled some of them. They are the
There's
old
been a bunch of
schools.
Reaper comments.
Yeah, Reaper's what it was. What was the company, though? So y'all know it's a Reaper. What was the company that made them? So that's them. One of my favorites from back in the day. Yeah, and these are cool because, like, so Dad and I used to fish these as like a walleye lure. You run just a regular jig hunter, bounce it off the bottom, And I guess it looked like a leech. I don't know, but cool little baits. I know Dad fished them for a while. I fished them for one of my favorites. Pretty cool stuff. So I'll throw some of these in. Those are a blast from the past, and this is actually the color that I threw, pumpkin. So there's, I think, kind of a disconnect between pumpkin and green pumpkin. Back in the day, I don't honestly remember ever throwing green pumpkin. Everything back in the day was pumpkin. So like this pumpkin seed.
Yeah,
This is
pumpkin
what I
seeds in the
threw.
ground.
Yeah, pumpkin seed growing up. Oh, people are saying Don. Was it Don? I thought they were. Oh, they were Don Ivy. I thought they were Mans. Crap! I might have even got wrong on my own. I might.
There's a lot of good suggestions there. I don't know if you've scrolled through the comments lately.
Let me see. I did not. I thought it was the.
Rundle texted me too. He said he's on a laptop now. I don't know if that will be any better, but perhaps.
Oh, the wife and the girls are home, so it might get. Oh, it was Don Iovino. I thought Mans used to make those Reapers. Okay, I'll have to look into that. But yes, that's sorry, I was looking off screen here. Okay, what else do we got here? A couple more here, and then we'll get into question time. Coogan made them. Oh, was it the Mans Stingray grub? Maybe that's what I'm thinking of here. Mans Stingray grub. No, that wasn't it. That has the spike tail thing to it. That was not it. I did have some of those in I actually still have some of those, I think, over there in a glow in the dark walleye color. But yeah, it was those Reapers. I could have sworn Mans made those. Okay. Anyway, we digress. I'm sorry. Okay. What else do we have? He sent a couple more things in here. So the Reapers are cool as heck. Oh, so here's the Epic mold. Oh, look at these. So we talked about open pores. Have you ever done anything like this, Arthur? These are pretty cool. Look at these.
Yeah,
You
that
did like a candy
that's pretty fancy,
cane.
too. I can't think of the name of that
Dope
mold too.
as
If
hell.
that's
So this
the
is a-
Epic. I'll have to look it up. One of their open
Oh no,
pore
I
worms.
froze. Oh, my damn camera.
Well, this got a good shot of the worm holding it up. Look, Debo's gone now. It's a
Oh,
Dizzle and
he's
Arthur.
gone. So yeah, I guess.
So about that Debo guy, huh?
Yeah, about that Debo guy. Hey, I was gonna ask. Usually we cover this by now, but oh wait, he's back. Never mind.
All right, go ahead. Ask.
No, I was just gonna say. I don't think we've really gone into the whole biggest fish favorite combo things like that. Debo, I don't know if you want to save that for a little bit.
No,
Down
go
the
ahead.
road
We'll
here,
roll into it.
or-
I'm almost done here. Let me finish this and we'll roll into it real quick.
Yeah.
Do that. I'll be right back.
People are going to get some of
I'll
these.
be right back in 2 seconds. Yeah, and then we'll hit that stuff. So keep
Yeah,
going
you're
through
good.
that box.
You're good.
Okay. So these are like a purple with a chartreuse. Nobody's getting any of these. Sorry, he knows I like the purple chartreuse. But it's a core shot. And then he did an outside color to it. Those are dope as heck. But I will give away these. The purple chartreuse were for me. This color, I will give away. Still a core shot. Still really cool. Let's see what else is in here. Gosh, he did way too much. He said, I don't know if this is enough to send you. Bro, this is way more than you should have sent. My God, you do cool stuff. What does he call this thing? The Kraken Creature Bait, a skirted. So y'all know, if you watch my channel, I'm a big fan of the old school hula grubs. So which is essentially like a double tail grub with a skirt on the front of it. So instead of fishing a jig like this type of thing, you take the skirt off, take the plastic off, and you fish just a hula grub on this. I used to throw those when I was younger quite a bit. This he calls the Kraken. I don't even know what to call that thing, but I would put it
Dude, there's been
how cool is
a
that?
couple of times. Yeah, that is dope. Like just the hula grub. We've talked about this 100 times before. One thing that you kind of get away from or go back to, or however you want to say it. The hula grub is one of those baits, man. There was a more than one occasion that I can remember both of us were out fishing, and you just dominated my face off with the hula grub. And I'm like, what are you even throwing right now?
Bait that you come back to, man.
Right.
Okay, and the last thing was, and speaking of, this is not an Epic. This is one of his own. So this is his own, like we were talking about with Arthur, open pour. But he's got the multiple fins on it. That's cool as heck. I bet that took a lot of work to make that thing. This one will have to go up in my over there behind the thing and not get thrown. So the rest of the stuff, I'll kind of split a lot of it out, set that up for the giveaway. I'll throw some of my stuff in there too. Should be a fun giveaway for somebody to win. But that's the box. I think I covered everything. I will split up some of that. So again, the never-ending project list. Steve, thank you so much if you watch this. I don't know if you watch or not, but dude, that was way more than you needed to send. And so again, what did I say? Fun, small bait making stuff that you can't find anywhere else. Where else can you find somebody making a sweet purple and green Kraken lure? Because you know I like purple and green chartreuse. Hula grub style Kraken lure. How freaking cool is that thing? Okay. Arthur, what do you got? So what were you saying here? Sorry.
So yeah, Dizzle had a question too, but just to mention quick, Nick said he's on a laptop. I don't know if he can hop on if he's got that frozen Iowa Wi-Fi, but we'll have to see. But so Dizzle, what was your question about biggest like personal?
So traditionally, what we usually go through, or we like to ask people, is those kind of basic questions. Usually we do it well before this, but it doesn't matter. Drink, everyone. Just Debo got up anyway. Personal best, favorite lure / combo to throw, technique to throw, however you want to answer that one, and just kind of overall, I don't know, I guess favorite type of fishing,
So they all kind of roll together a little bit. Years ago, I used to fish with my cousin quite a bit. He lived on a pond. We had a good spot right in the town we lived in. And we'd host a end of the summer kind of tournament. Hamburgers, hot dogs on the grill, go fishing for a bit, and everybody drink some beers afterwards. Anyway, we're out in the boat one night. This is getting towards the end of it. Maybe, I think the end of the night. I think the last fish was like by 8 p.m., something like that. And it's just local. It's a bunch of guys in the neighborhood. Everybody would throw $20 in, split half of the pot, the other half, and go to food. All right. We're out there. I'm throwing a black 5/8 jointed jitterbug topwater. And there was a guy who lived on the pond. His shed blew out onto the pond during the winter. And then when it thawed, they couldn't get it. So it sunk. So we used to joke around like the biggest fish in the pond lived in the shed. So I'd cast over that shed, and lucky enough, 7 pound.
Sure, no.
Well, I'm saying 7.5 pound largemouth. It was on one of those old, either Eagle Claw or Berkeley, like spring scales, like terrible scale rusted in the boat.
Oh,
it
yeah.
ran somewhere between 7 and 8 pounds. Could have been bigger, could have been less. I'm calling it 7.5. And that was on a 5/8 black jointed jitterbug. And that's kind of not my go-to night bait, but very often will I throw a jitterbug at night, especially that jointed black topwater one.
Dude,
that jointed black 5/8 one.
Old school black jitterbug at night is so much fun. Look at that thing.
Absolutely.
How cool is that thing?
Yeah, it's perfect.
That is nice.
Nice and flappy. Yeah.
I know Devo and I have talked about, younger throwing, I want to say it was a hula popper or something like that at night on a pond
Black
in the dark.
jitterbug.
You can't
Black
see
jitterbug
anything.
in the dark.
Jointed or
that
solid
is so
body?
much fun.
Solid. Just the regular little one, like the little 2-inch or 3-inch, whatever they were.
Yeah,
Not
I like
jointed.
that little bit bigger, that 5/8, that jointed one. But yeah, any jitterbug, I love throwing a jitterbug at night, man. Especially on like a calm, water's glass on a summer night. When you get those blow-ups on there, that's what's better than that.
The sound of it as it's because you can't see anything, all your other senses are heightened, and just the sound of that fish breaking the surface of the water, hitting the lure, it sounds so aggressive and so violent. Yeah, that's super, super fun.
So that rolls into my favorite technique, like topwater fishing. I do a lot of night fishing too. I don't know if you guys do much fishing at night, but I've got 3 daughters. My wife and I, like my wife works at night, so my brother-in-law, same thing. He's got a couple of kids, so a lot of times we go out on a Friday night or a Saturday night. We'll get out there at 9 o'clock at night and fish until 2 or 3 in the morning, but throwing like topwater and all kinds of crazy stuff at night, and that's a blast, especially in the summertime when you can catch some big fish topwater at night. Well, look, it's back to the Dizzle and Arthur show here.
Yeah. So is there, which I hate asking this, but what is your least favorite? The one that you're like, oh God, I got to throw a X, Y, or Z because I know it's probably going to catch fish, but I don't want to do it because whatever reason.
That's a wacky worm. Like I don't. I don't typically, if fishing is that bad for the day that I have to, not that wacky worm fishing is bad, but if fishing is that slow for the day and I throw everything in my tackle box and I'm down to like, all right, I guess I'll wacky rig a green pumpkin stick worm. I'm not trying to hate on those because they're very effective, but like I don't want to have to resort to that to catch a fish. Like there's
Sounds like
something
you're hating
else.
to me. That sounds
You know,
like a
maybe I
hater
am.
comment to me.
I didn't fish a worm.
Now you're
all
getting
season.
defensive. Listen,
This
you don't
whole
need to
year I
raise
didn't-
your voice to me. Now you're raising your voice.
No worm all season this year.
Dude, nothing wrong with that at all. Nothing wrong with that at all. I'll throw the wacky rig, the Ned rig. I don't care what it is as long as it's not the drop shot. If I get to the point where people are like, if you throw a drop shot, you'll catch fish. I'm like, I'll just go home. I'll let Randy do that. He likes throwing a drop shot. Let's see. So TKO Fish on became a member. My brother, thank you so much for that. Critical Gravy said, Debo, do 2 giveaways and I'll Venmo you the shipping for both. Spread the love. I don't have a Venmo. If you have PayPal, maybe let me know if you have PayPal. I don't have the Venmos.
I'll tell you what, because this is such a fun night. I'll give away this box right here.
Oh shoot! What's in
Whoa.
there? Show us.
As Brad Pitt would say, what's in the box?
All right.
What's in
So
the box?
this is all this is pretty similar to what I'll have at the tackle show in March. But this is the Epic Open
Got
Pour.
that too, Adam. I didn't know we had the hoity-toity in here.
Fancy guy over here. I watched that. You ever see that water sommelier? He's on YouTube. These need some eyes too. But so we'll start with the smallest one.
Jay Walls
This
knows
is a
really what's up.
3-inch Epic Nugget. All have hook slots. This is designed to work with the 4-aught Owner B swim bait hook. So 3-inch Epic Nugget. What else is in here? We've got the 3.5-inch Epic Pud. These are all in matching colors too. So you've got
Color shift there, a little bit of purple highlight in it. That's sick.
Alpha Xenon in the that purple, and then there's a little bit of I think it's spring green in the belly, and then I just darkened it up with a couple of drops of black on the top. So this was actually something cool you can do when you're pouring baits. That's all out of 1 cup. So started with 1 cup, mixed up that belly color, poured that in all of them, added a couple drops of something else, made another color, and then poured the top. So that's the
Debo,
3-inch nugget.
flip over
Sorry.
to full screen so you see the colors better.
Oh yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, good call. Thank you, Randy.
So 3-inch Epic Nugget. I'll show that quick while we're on full screen. 3-inch Epic Nugget. We've got the 3.5-inch Pud. Another fantastic bait. These all get eyes too. These just came in from the garage. Let's go to the next biggest. So that's the 5.1-inch Aggro. Another fantastic bait. Like I said, these just came in, so I got a little cleanup to do and some eyes to put on. But Aggro is a great bait. Hook slot in the belly end here too. That's a nice bait. That's not too heavy. It's a big bait. I believe it's 5.1, but it's not too heavy because of all the ribs. So it presents a big profile, but it's not a big, giant, heavy bait. Next, let's go to Sucker. 6-inch Epic Sucker. Like I said, all these are in matching colors. That purple, green, kind of clear. In the light, they look crazy. Also, the 6.1-inch Stud. This is good on a 10-aught swim bait hook. Big hook slot in the belly here. Magnum rib gang, yeah. Let's go to the next. 7.5-inch Epic Swimmer. This is the first. I mean, if you're a big Marlin fan, this is the first Epic Marlin collaboration. Was a 7.5-inch swimmer, and it's like a joint.
Really? That was the first one? I didn't know that. I remember him showing that one when I was over there.
Epic can confirm, but I'm 99% sure. Epic Sucker, can I call?
Yeah, that sucker is sweet. Show that sucker one again. The colors on that one, I don't know what you did different, but the purple was.
Yeah, it just might be the angle.
Yeah,
it's picking it up a little better because this is poured. So typically an open pour. I'll jump off of that bait for a quick second. Typically an open pour pours like this. You pour.
Yeah, shut up, Randy.
As you're pouring them, you're pouring the belly first. So the top is the last color you pour. With the sucker, the mold actually sits like this. So you pour the top first.
Oh, yeah.
And the belly last. So when you fish it, it's designed to be fished kind of on the bottom like a sucker.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, that might have just been catching the light just right. But yeah,
that one looks
these are
sick.
all,
that purple highlight is crazy.
all the same.
Oh yeah, Epic said
colors.
the swimmer was the first collab. I think they meant to say there.
So that's this one here, 7.5 inch Epic swimmer. I actually sent some of these to little self promotion. I sent some of these to Nate a while ago in the sockeye salmon video. He throws one of these sandy painted, pretty fancy. And he got a decent fish on it too. I forget what he said. It was maybe 18, 20 inches. I mean, this is 7.5, and it was 2.5 of these. So, but it swims kind of fancy. It's got a nice joint to it. And then the last one is the 7.8 inch Epic Boss. This is 3.5 ounces.
Yeah. Oh, that's huge. Let me find my old. So Rundle and Nate have been awesome at hooking me up. I've got to find. I did
that's a big hook slot too. Like I don't know if you can
Dude, that
see
thing
my
is
hands through there.
ridiculous.
Yeah, it's a 3.5 ounce. It's a big swim bait. It fits a 12-watt beast hook, and it like. I'm not gonna rig it, but I can put the hook up.
Nobody can see Debo, but we definitely can hear the fact that he did just.
I got up. Can you hear my old man knees and my old arse getting up? My golly.
No, it's the banging
show
through
you.
piles of lures at your feet.
Oh.
I mean, that's a 12-watt beast hook in there. Like this is a big bait.
I'm sorry.
See,
This
that
is
is
the
a
first one
12
I
pot?
ever ported that. I went for sunfish.
That's a custom. That's one of Nate's handmade silicone molds right there.
Oof.
How cool is that?
There's
Turned out pretty
probably
neat. I will give
handful
away.
of
Let's see.
people
Do
that
I
have
have
that.
one of these? Oh, here's one. Look at the hook you have to put in these. I actually had a bite on this one, and it ripped it. It grabbed the back and ripped it open. But that's the beast hook that you're using in it. And with these, I think I would cut a slit in the belly. So remember we were talking about that belly slit, so it can move. I don't think I have a knife down here. But with these, they're so big. I think you've got to split it because it's not. You know, that's all that you get for hookup. So like with a belly, a belly slit in these, but I'll throw one of these in already pre-rigged. This one had a bite on it, proven to catch pike.
If you want to see something quick, I can show you how to rig one of these real quick. So for whoever gets that box, you're going to have to order a variety of weighted swim baits.
I think I've got some. I'll have you send the box to me, and then I will send it out because I've got a number of beast hooks. So I will throw enough in to rig them up.
I've got an extra 12 right here. I'll throw a 12 in that box too because these can be tough to get the 12s. But just to show you quick how you rig them, this is how I
full
do
screen.
So I'll take my hook, kind of line it up where I want it to be in the body. So I know my screw eye is going to sit up here, and I know the hook's going to come through here. So I'll find my hook slot. I'll measure quickly to see. Hopefully this is on camera because I'm watching myself do it on the camera.
Good.
And then let me go off camera just for a sec so I can see. So I'll mark where the hook's going to go through, and I'll take in the belly here, and I will put a mark with the hook right about where I need to pierce through there. And I'll poke that through as straight as I can to the back right here. So I know where my hook's going to come through. Then I can pull that through. Now I can rig the rest of the bait. Some guys will actually take these off or open up the hook and then do it, but I've got it down pretty good. So I'll screw this into the nose of the bait, get it lined up as good as I can. So that's about right there. And then I already made my hole for the belly. I already know that comes through here. And I can find it. I can locate it inside the bait a little bit easier. Kind of mush your bait out of the way a little bit. And then when you come through, you'll be good.
Nice. So do you do that same thing where you mark it?
Professional.
Where you mark where your hook's going to come through regardless of the size of the lure, or?
With yes and no. Like with the bigger beast hooks, the 10s and the 12s, I'll do that because when you're dealing with a bait like this wide, you get a lot of meat to kind of bend it around. But like the prey bait, the 5.6 inch prey bait, here's actually the 7.5. This uses a 12-watt beast hook also. If I can pull another one out of this package.
Yeah, the thing is, so funny thing, people were saying, just kind of joking about the 12-watt hook. What's after 12-watt gaff, anchor? So the thing is, like the nice thing about those, yeah, the nice thing about those is they are a little bit thicker, a little bit heavier. Don't let the size fool you because it's really no different than like a heavier wire hook. And the nice thing about those is because you're throwing that big bait, it gets back farther on the bait. So like that one I was showing, the one This actually was one, I think Rundle made this one and gave this one to me. But I rigged this one up, and this one was one where the pike came up and hit it like this. So even with a 12-aught like this, it doesn't really matter that it's a big, like, thick hook, but it just gets a little bit farther back in there. Normally they will hit it on the head, but I mean, with pike, you never know what the hell they're going to do. It grabbed it back here. You can see the teeth marks and stuff on it here. But it just helps get that hook back a little bit farther. So, you know, don't be afraid that it's, oh my gosh, it's a 12-aught. That's, you know, you can throw these around wood. You know, I was burning this over wood, knocking it over wood. And because it's belly weighted like that, it's always going to right itself. And, you know, in case you get snagged, a lot of people run heavier braid. You can pull this out of anything. So it's not like a regular lure, you know, that if you've got 12-pound on, break it off. It's got a heavy hook. You're not going to bend it out. So you can usually get your lure back too, which is nice because these aren't cheap, you know, to make or fish. So
this is 3.5 ounces of plastic. Like that's quite a bit of plastic. And what's nice too, you can kind of tuck the top of it a little bit if you want also. But I will often, if I know I'm fishing in open, clear waters, I'll throw a stinger treble on here. So before after I rig the eye, before I put the belly hook, the hook through the belly, I'll just throw a treble on here and let that hang, and you get a stinger treble, and that'll increase your hookups quite a bit.
Meat hooks, hay hooks, fancy slippers. Oh my gosh, we're starting to derail. We're starting to crumble here. Mindit. So somebody did say that. I did actually want to say, so for Randy's Mindit infatuation, actually, these do work great because I had one that got, I think it actually was this one. Yeah. So this is one that I brought home. I think Rundle actually made me this one too. And I put it on something and broke it. But this one has been mindeted, if you can tell. Right here, you can see where it's like kind of bulbous right here. I broke the end of the tail off. Now that thing is completely good with Mindit. So Mindit absolutely works on these plastisol baits. Great for that. I think actually, I don't remember what happened with that one. But anyway, yeah, I think I did fish that one. The tail ripped off. But
you need to get one of those the more
stuff.
you know things that go across the screen when you talk about that.
It's a after school
PSA.
PSA.
To Randy on these. Mindit works great on these.
So just really quick. So this is the boss in this end here. This is a 7.5 inch prey bait. They both use a 12-aught beast hook, but see how much more meat is here, how much more material. I will mark my hooks ahead of time before I put them through. But with something like the 7.5 prey bait, I know that this lure is flexible enough. So when I line it up, I don't need to locate it ahead of time. I know, like, all right, it's going to go through here. This bait I can kind of fold and get it right around. When you're dealing with like the HUDs or a larger bait like that, you sometimes want to locate the hook and mark it beforehand. Even a nice skinny awl, if you have one, you can make your hole nice and center. Then you can put your hook through and you won't have to fight it. But like this bait, I didn't locate this hook ahead of time. I can just kind of rig this one like I would any other soft plastic and be right where I want to be.
So it's more because of the fact there's so much extra meat in there, you can't really bend it like you want to.
Correct. So if you already have that hole, once you get it there, you can go right through a little bit easier. Some guys will open these up too. We'll open up the eye on here or buy screw eyes that they can manipulate a bit, so they can put the screw eye in, put the hook, and then link the two together.
Yeah, I don't necessarily like the idea of that, just because it's taking something that was manufactured that way and then, you know, adding in a little bit of you know, a bit of weakness, if you would, just because you popped it open a little bit, you know.
Yep, I got you. So I'll pop that.
Okay, I'm gonna get a giveaway rolling from mine here real quick. We're gonna do hashtag.
Hashtag Hammer said plan your penetration.
I've noticed some of the comments are off tilt for our normal group, but I get it. A lot of these do sound, it's like the funny Instagram thing where like the girls watching the football thing and all the funny innuendos. I'm like, yeah, I would get how that's okay. So we're gonna draw from mine real quick. So that'll be some of the baits from as I just ran over some. Those were mine.
I bring out the best in people. What can I say?
I know. Oh my goodness. Okay, so the never-ending project list, not to be confused with never-ending story.
Easy, Falcor.
Maybe? Okay, sorry.
Atreya.
But look at that one.
Thanks.
This is how we should have it.
Yeah, might
Randy
as well.
front and center. Oh my gosh, why did we not done that before? That's how we'll do it the rest of the night. Randy is king. Actually, that'll be next week. Randy, you don't get that privilege tonight. That'll be next week when we do that.
Yeesh.
Okay, there we go. Okay, so hashtag bait maker. That's going to be all the baits from Project List. I think I've probably got some other cool soft plastics that I've made to throw in there. This should be a pretty hefty one because it's all homemade stuff. And of course, we want to, you can't see me down here, but as my shirt says, support small bait makers and garage bait makers. Look up everybody that's on here tonight. I'll put Epic down below. Of course, Fish Daddy, we got him over 3,000. Randy, we still want to get his followers over Dar Sizzles without him making a single video.
Hey,
Okay,
real
so
quick,
hashtag bait
Debo,
maker
hold on.
Yeah, let's get back to some questions while we're
Present to
getting in.
win. Present to win. Canadian brethren, sisterin, whatever you want to call it. Debo, get you a gift card.
I will buy you a gift
Present to
card.
win
I
is
did
the big
see
one.
Tackle Warehouse had those. I think 20% off or 10% off or something. So I'll buy you a Tackle Warehouse gift card. I need
Only
to get
one
Tackle
entry
Warehouse
is
to give me some
necessary.
free gift cards, but they won't. They're
Multiple
kind of,
do not help you any.
I
So
do
I'm
have
just
to
gonna keep
admit,
talking over
I'm
you.
the first guy in the chat to, if somebody isn't present, to RIP, insert username here. Like, oh, guy's not here. Hurry up, spin it again.
this guy's not here. Draw somebody else. Okay, so let's do some round robin. This or that. Okay, Fish Daddy. If there's one lure you don't want to fish, if somebody took you out and said you have to fish this, and you would rather peel your fingernails off than fish this lure, what would
Outside
it be?
of the wacky. Since you
Outside of
already
the
gave
wacky,
that.
yeah, because you already made us feel like little sissies if we throw a wacky, so we get it. You're a tough guy.
Yeah, probably the wacky.
Really?
I don't know.
Oh man,
I
the
just
wacky hater.
Not that I don't hate it. I just don't throw it ever. You got somebody who thinks they're funny at 9:56 there. I don't know if if you see the comments, but anyway,
That's going
I don't know.
too fast, man.
Probably the wacky. I don't know what else I don't like to throw. I don't throw chatterbaits much. Yeah, that's my lovely wife. Yeah, I don't throw chatterbaits.
Very talented
much.
as well. Yeah,
I don't
you're
know
a talented duo. So you say chatterbaits and the wacky?
I don't throw chatterbaits much.
Huh.
What kind of?
Yeah.
I
How about
guess
this?
what kind
So
of
you're a
water
big
do
bait
you
guy.
got
How about
there?
this one? Have you seen these? So apparently the size of the lure matters. Only Fish Daddy will throw the biggest. How about this one? This is actually a musky lure. This is from, who are they? It's
Big
the
one?
Angry Dragon TNA Tackle. This is a chatterbait, a musky chatter. How about this one?
Yeah, I'll throw
Like
that. That's something up
3,
my alley. Listen, I've got, if we're
6.
out in the shop right now, or if I was out in the shop right now, I've got the Metalhead custom, like
Oh,
18-inch.
dude.
Yeah, like
His stuff is crazy. Talk about people with
Unbelievable.
skill.
Yeah.
This dude has, y'all go look up Metalhead Custom. Here, hold on. Because the first time I saw his stuff, I was like, dude, you gotta be freaking kidding me. And this dude,
I've got a custom Fish Daddy one in the garage. That's fantastic. So yeah, if it's something I don't like throwing, wacky, maybe a chatterbait. I don't know. I don't fish traditionally. I like to throw different things. Like I said, I've changed up my fishing in the past year or two. I'd rather catch something on a bait that I want to fish, something unique, like this, say the 7.5-inch prey bait, rather than, okay, I can throw a wacky worm on and catch something. Okay, I got a fish, done, and go back. Yeah,
look at
Metalhead.
some of the stuff this dude freaking does, dude.
What's his handle? Is it Metalhead Custom Musky Baits? Is that right?
Metalhead Musky Baits. Yeah, go check him out. He does some.
Oh my
And
god!
I don't know if he does like printing or stuff on some of these, but dude, some of his stuff is.
He's single-handedly
if y'all are
put
musky
a
people looking
dent
for some
in the pheasant population, like a huge dent in the amount of feathers on it.
probably.
Dizzle, what about you?
This
What do you
guy's
not like
talent.
fishing?
For me, I don't know if you said Dizzle or me. Everybody knows my drop shot. I would rather.
Yeah.
I'm going to go the opposite.
Sulfuric
Total
acid than
100%.
fish a drop shot.
100% opposite of you. Or I don't want to fish anything big. When you were talking about a 12-aught hook, I'm like, man, the biggest hook I have is like a 5-aught. I don't like big lures. I don't know why. I've started to slowly dip my toe in there. Like anything over a half ounce for me is like cringy. I don't want to do it. I have no idea why.
These hooks are 3/4 of an ounce, and the bait weighs 3.5.
Okay. Oh man, I was like, I have no idea why. I just want, to live in that half ounce and that worst case scenario, 3/4 of an ounce range. I don't want to go a whole lot over, but I guess that goes along with the territory around here. I don't know a whole lot of guys, in the Midwest that are throwing a whole lot of huge lures and getting a whole lot of outcome.
I heard
Oh,
you
Jeff
mention.
Elliott had a good question. Oh, what was the price in the box? What do you do for like a normal price on those?
So those at the show will probably be, I'm thinking about $50. And you'll get, there's I think 7 or 8 hand poured swim baits in a box, and that's not a it's not a junk box either. I'm reaching over to grab it. It's a Flambeau 4007.
And it's the good one with the good clips on the front, not the cheap ones that are molded in.
I think I pay $7 a piece for the boxes. Like they're not cheap boxes. They're good boxes.
I appreciate that.
I try to use quality stuff. So depending on what they are, probably between 45 on the low end and 65 on the higher end, depending on what's in them. If they're just basic pours, maybe single color, a little bit less. If I'm using some fancier pigments and maybe some like Dead Meat Customs make some fantastic eyes that are a little bit step up from like the Amazon ones. Like I've got some kind of hanging around here.
Yeah, I wish I could get some more of those. I wanted to get some more DEBO Customs, but no luck. If you got a hookup, tell Dead Meat hook me up.
Yeah, Dead Meat's like unbelievable stuff. So some of the baits will have fancier eyes and things like that. Like here's a
let's get to 150. Hashtag baitmaker 150. Hold on, I'll go back to you and then we'll draw. Yeah, he's got some cool stuff. I've used some of mine. So Mr. John Frank, actually, John, are you on? I don't think I've seen him on tonight. I have your package ready. So John actually got me the DEBO eyes that people have seen. He bought those for me and surprised me. And got me some other Dead Meat eyes. So, John, I owe you. I've got you a bag ready for you, my friend, with all my custom stuff. He actually got the first lure I ever made with those customized and colors and it all.
Yeah, so there'll be some more premium boxes, like I said, with some fancy pigments or color shift stuff, and then there'll be some basic stuff, some black, some white, that kind of stuff. Is it pop or
that's
soda?
Definitely worth the money because it's So I think that's a funny one. I always call it a pop. It's regional. Pop to me.
There's a soda right here.
Yeah, and then there's other people that call it like an actual Coke. Any pop is a Coke to them. Like, let's have a Coke.
I call it by the actual name of what I want to drink. I will take a mellow yellow, please.
And
I'll take
little
a
do you all
Pepsi-Cola,
know,
please.
Randy also drinks with his pinky out anytime I'm with him.
Dizzle drinking that Days of Thunder
yellow.
Days of Thunder mellow yellow.
Yes. Oh my God. I remember when Days of Thunder came out. They had the glass bottles of mellow yellow. That stuff was amazing.
Hardy's mellow yellow. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Arthur, Michael had a question for you.
What rod am I throwing 3-ounce baits on? I've got a few rods. Any of the Dobbins Furies 806 maybe. I can't think of the number. They make a great.
Yeah, that's an awesome.
They make a great swim bait rod. I've got one of my kind of favorite combos is Abu Revo SX on a Veritas. The new Veritas. I think it's rated 1 to 4 ounce. That's a great setup for that too. That's like a medium heavy, kind of fast. Also, I found them on one of your shows one night. Sticks fishing, like the Power 6. I actually broke one recently. I put it away in the boat in the little rod holder, and I must have broke it, taken it out. I saw the top like 6 inches was broke off. I reached out to them, their warranty program. Like they've got a fantastic warranty program, and they helped get me set up to get another one pretty quick. So Sticks Fishing, their Power 6 can handle some heavier stuff. Between that Abu Veritas sticks, the Dobbins rod, they're all. I mean, there's a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah, Dobbins 795. Somebody suggested.
Oh, we'll answer this one after. Yeah, I agree, Arthur. That I think the Dobbins for it's kind of rated soft. I think it's like 2 to like 7 ounces or something crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know that I would throw a 7 ounce on it, but like up to like I would say like 3 or 4 ounces. That rod is great, and it's soft enough that I was throwing 120 ploppers on it and actually liked it a lot because you can frickin' zing them out there. It's so long, like you can hook
nice and
a plopper.
Springy enough, you can throw them pretty good.
Okay, so let's draw. So this is going to be the first giveaway. Arthur, I don't know how long you have tonight. We'll probably go another 15, 30 minutes. We're having fun tonight.
Yeah.
We've got 260 people on.
I
I
know
will
I'm
draw
an
for
hour ahead of
mine.
you, but I'm an hour ahead of you, but I got no. I'm good.
Okay. All right. Yeah. If you ever need to jump off or whatever, just
Nope.
let us know. Okay. So I'm drawing. This will be for I've got some of my baits I'll throw in, and then all the never-ending stuff that we showed in the giveaway, his crankbaits and stuff. It'll be a pretty sick box. Okay. So that Irish Asian, you actually already won last week, so I am going to draw because I haven't even got your stuff to give you away yet. Which is, how does that even happen? 153 entries. He's got over $100 box coming from him. So I'm making the executive decision on that one. He hasn't even got his stuff yet. He won last week. No Joshua Simonson. I did see his picture jumping through there. Okay. Patriot 9819. Rigged. Okay. Let's see. So DEBO'S fishing at gmail.com. Patriot, are you in here?
Here's an example quick. Like Dobbin's Fury, I'm looking at I don't know what model number it is offhand, but 7'9" medium heavy, good for 1 to 5 ounce. It's line weight 15 to 30 pound. That's on Tackle Warehouse for $120, $110. Like, you can find them all over the place. Like Dobbin, like I said, Dobbin makes some good ones.
Yeah, I didn't realize the Fury went up that much. I think it's like $130 rod now. Like they used to be $99. So that kind of okay. Patriot's here. Patriot, email me DEBO'Sfishing at gmail.com with a screenshot of your YouTube so I know it's you. And then of course your address. Fish Daddy is still on the list. Patriot, what is it? 9819. That's going to be custom bait
795. So Fishing in the Southeast said that's a Dobbin 795, but
795. Yep, that's the one I have.
Yeah,
I think.
You can't go for more or less $100. Give $20 more, whatever. But more or less $100.
Yeah, I think it's a great one to get into it.
Tough to beat.
Okay, so let's go back to this. So here in a second, we'll draw for Arthur's box. And I'll throw some of my stuff in there as well. Patriot said, I can't believe it. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. And this is the thing is like, so where's my phone? So I got a message from somebody that won, and I'm not going to give, this was a while ago. Okay, where was it? Okay, so this was one that said, I've included screenshots of my stuff, blah, 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 blah. Feeding proof, yeah. I can't believe I actually won. Fishing is literally my therapy, especially since my wife has been out of work due to depression and anxiety, which has caused me to struggle financially and set off my own anxiety and issues. This seriously means more to me than you could ever know. Thank you so much. If you're ever in my area, blah, 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 blah. Gave me stuff about his stuff. I'd love to fish with you depending on season. So that's the thing is like, there's been a number of times, and whether Randy wants to admit it or not, I would have been done with YouTube on multiple occasions. And I know he saved me for one, but I've struggled with my own depression and anxiety and, finances and kids and school. Like this is why I say, be nice to people because you never know what sort of battle that person is fighting, in their own realm. So I'm just glad that, we can hang out here and talk fishing and just have a good time. And, I know it's only for an hour or 2 hours on a weekend, but come hang out, have fun. The world can be a crazy place. Your own head can be a crazy place. So if you're ever in a spot where you feel like you're the only one and you're down and out, you don't have anywhere else to go, just talk to somebody, please. I know I would like to do a giveaway or like a charity type stream for mental illness and stuff. I know Gramps talks about the veteran therapy and stuff, which I think is absolutely awesome. I stand behind him in that, him and Jeremy. But just for regular people, whether or not you're a veteran, anybody suffering with that stuff, I talk about it. It's something that I've struggled with actually my whole life, and I don't really talk about it a whole lot, but little stuff like that, always cheers me up, and that's why I keep going. So anyway, enough of the sappy stuff. Let's get back into fishing. That's why we're here is to have fun. Okay, so Arthur, do you have a favorite combo, favorite rod and reel? Doesn't have to be necessarily for the big stuff. Do you have one that you're like, I can't help but go into this combo? I love it.
I have to say lately it's been that I've got a Tatula 150 and that.
Oh, dude, somebody else.
Yeah, like that.
Go ahead,
that
sorry.
Sticks Power 6 is a really good combo. I can throw some like that 5.6-inch prey bait. I can throw that on there, and I can even get to some of the heavier stuff. I'm going to spin around here. This is actually one of my wife's lures. This is from a good friend, Doobie Swim Baits, made one. Long story short, not to get super sappy, my wife and I had a daughter that was stillborn. That was about, would be 6 years ago now. So when we hooked up with Doobie and Rebecca over at Doobie Swim Baits was making a bait for my wife. My wife wanted pink and blue, like infant loss awareness colors, but this is a model they don't make anymore. But what I was going to say is on that same Tatula 150 Sticks Power 6 fishing, you can throw some 3-ounce kind of resin swim baits on there without a problem. And it's a fantastic setup. So that's been kind of my go-to lately. I've really been liking that. I've got to get I've been eyeing like either a Tatula 200 or the Lexa, like the one with the wind grips. I think it's just a Lexa WN.
Lexa WN.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's been kind of my go-to lately. I don't know. And I
don't think the name is on here. I don't know that you would care, but I just want to.
You throw mono, or what do you throw lately?
So happy I took your advice on that What a Monster of a Reel. I know you can't read it, but it's the Tatula 150. I was talking to a subscriber the other day.
Oh, yeah.
He was asking for, he was throwing like the Gantarelles on it. Dude, it is such a solid freaking reel. Aluminum body, aluminum side plate at like $160. That is hard to find.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it. I don't know what you throw on it for
Randall,
line.
what's yours?
I was going to say, I think I throw that on
I'm a bit behind you.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I throw that on a mono setup. Like, believe it or not, I throw like Berkeley big game on a lot of stuff. For big swim baits,
a lot of people like that, the big game mono. Yeah, people like that a lot.
Tough
for
to
it.
beat.
As far as
favorite combo,
what's your favorite combo? I know it kind of changes, and I know you've got a new jig rod, which you were kind of upset for about a little bit, and then kind of got back to liking it. And
yeah, it was kind of that I just hadn't caught anything on it. It was the Shimano rod with a Corrado reel and the upgraded speed spool grips. Dude, I love that handle on there. The whole nine is just amazing. That I'm running, God, what is it? 17-pound. What's a Brazex? The yellow box of Brazex, 17
that's
pound.
Invisex.
Invisex, yeah. So I'm running that on there. As far as like an overall rod, man, I like Debo said, I do switch it up quite a bit. And, you know, it's for me, it's just kind of the flavor of the month, if you will. It's like what seems to be working at that time. I have a Bass X rod, which also has a Corrado on there. And I think I'm running 15-pound floral on there that I've been using. It's 17 pounds.
Does it have the short reel trigger? I can't stand those. I've got a St. Croix. Oh, no. I think it's the Victory line. I don't know if let me check here real quick. Dude, I cannot stand the tiny reel triggers. I was actually going to ask you the other day if you wanted that Victory rod of mine. It's like a $200 rod, and I can't stand it. Cannot stand it.
Sure. I like
all yours.
On that Bass X, I'm running for my free rig setup. Do you throw a free rig very much, Art? At all?
Not too much. If I throw plastics, I'm going either just something weightless, or I'll throw a like if I'm throwing worms or creatures, I'll throw weightless or just Texas rig. I don't do drop shot much, none of the Carolina stuff. Like I'm kind of for that stuff. I'm kind of old school. Like if I don't throw weightless, or I'll add a weight, and that's fancy enough for me for plastic.
Sure.
So as far as
so that's what I wanted to check. I don't know. I think you might have the older version of that, Randy. This was one thing I wanted to check. So this is one thing I liked about the new Bass X. I'll show this real quick just because I was talking about it so people can kind of see. Hijack you for a second here. Sorry. And then we'll get back to regular Dizzle. So this is programming. Yeah, this is the Bass X, and I like how they have that like thin trigger that goes down a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
The Bass X I liked, and I actually like how they have you can't see it here. This part where it's the EVA up here, because I like to finger my line. I really like how they did that, and it's a little bit longer. I hate and it's funny because my dad actually likes this. It's the same on the Legend. That's way out of my price range than what I would normally buy. I bought one of the Victories, and I think this is the one that I bought at Hank's when I bought Dad's that day. This. So I bought Dad a spinning rod, and he absolutely loves the spinning rod of this. But dude, this Victory has the tiny little reel trigger. Can't stand it, man. Cannot stand it.
Yeah. I think my Bass X is much bigger than that. Like that looks like
these
that
are like
is
little tiny. So you'll have to try it, see if you like it. If not, I might have to meet up with somebody local and give it away because, dude, I can't stand it. It's a $250 rod, and I can't stand the thing.
You know what one I didn't like? I actually put hands on it at a tackle shop was the Veritas. I bought the highest, like the heaviest. What is it? Their PLX, like I think it's 1 to 4 that they had, but they have got the Veritas Toro. Have you seen those? The trigger on them is a little different.
I don't know what the difference is.
The triggers.
Let's go look.
It's kind of hard to explain. So if you're looking at the trigger on the rod, it's 3-dimensional, like it's kind of round but flattened all the way around, if that makes sense. But if you look at the Toro, where your middle finger would sit, it's concave on the inside, and it was super uncomfortable to hold.
Oh, it goes backwards.
Yeah, it was like terrible to hold on to for throwing it for that stuff because they were rated.
Yeah, I feel like you like want to slip off of it.
Yeah, it's odd, and it was
because
if you look like by that foam.
So the one thing I was going to say on Veritas is the one thing that I love of theirs is they like did they not do that anymore? So they used to have a little bit bigger of a reel trigger that like grabs it so you can't fall off. They might. Yeah, this is what I was thinking of. Is they used to have like this thing where it's like it grabs your finger, so you cannot let go of it. Like as far as lock in, I love that. Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't know that about the Toros. Good point.
Yeah, it was just uncomfortable to hold for what I was doing. It maybe for a different technique. I don't fish for whatever muskie around here or something else. Maybe somebody would use it. But the other thing is, if you see where your cursor is on the inside of it, there, it was also concave on the inside. You know how it's like. It would like just dig into your knuckle. It was odd. I don't know if there's a different angle of it on there, but if you could look from the butt down the front of the rod, you could kind of see what I'm talking about.
Oh, here. Yeah. So you can see it's like interesting. So it's like cupped in like a little valley on that backside of it instead of being flat back there.
Yep.
Wow. Yeah. I would have never noticed that by looking at pictures until you pointed that out. Huh. There you go. Yeah. See, there you can see it's almost like a.
Yep.
Interesting. Okay, well, that's good feedback. Yeah, so it's stuff like that. Like if one person has that, like I often wonder, like what type of testing goes on. You know, like so I'm gonna be doing. I've already got my list going. I can't show you too quick, but best and worst lures of 2022. But one of which I've already talked about it is the Spro Flapping Frog. Everybody that I've talked to, the weight falls out, and I don't want to talk crap about Spro because I really, really like the frog.
Didn't they replace that though? Debo?
He's just perplexed. I don't know. Apparently they replaced it. I don't know. Arthur,
I didn't know if you could hear me though.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Can you see me?
Yep, I can see you. Hey guys,
I can see you.
Is me and Debo or Debo and I still up and running, or are we frozen? What's going on here?
People talking about Victory made in the U.S. Yeah, they are made in the U.S. I do like that St. Croix does the made in the U.S. and all that stuff.
Yeah, Arthur looks like people are saying he's frozen.
Comparing trigger size. Yeah, hey, sometimes you got to. Julie said, "Oh my God, I'll take it." Yeah, the thing is, I can't ship rods because they're like $80 to ship, and I'm just not going to spend that to ship one rod. So,
I was going to ask you. He's up in the Northeast, yeah.
He's up in Rhode Island, yeah.
Okay, so I'm just wondering what kind of. So he's saying that he doesn't throw a lot of plastics. He throws a lot of big swim baits, big things like that. Like what?
I like Abu, Tennessee. We're not hating on them. I've got a number of their stuff.
What's the water like up there? What's the structure, the bottom, the things like that? That's what I was going to ask before you ever so rudely interrupted with your tangent on trigger sizes. It's not about the trigger.
I didn't interrupt you. I don't ever interrupt people.
It's not about the trigger.
I have to sometimes. It's hard.
Yeah, because I'm just so overbearing during these.
I know, and I just want to tell you to shut up, and I can't. Look at this. Oh, Randall's doing. Randall's doing some candid photos on. Look at that.
Yep.
Hey, do the pose. Do the pose so it's like some Inception type crap we got going on here. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, Randall, we love your mug. I'm glad you can get in here and do these with us, even if you do live in Nebraska. Weird. Maybe Wi-Fi crash. He said coming back ASAP. Okay, so we're gonna go through. So we'll still draw for Arthur's box. I'll have him send it to me, and I'll try to throw in some extra stuff on my end, even though his box is pretty damn cool. I might throw in one of my custom. Yeah, oh yeah, I was gonna throw in this. The big bait that I had a bite on, and I don't remember if I made that or if Nick made that. Rundle might have made that one for me. There's Arthur back. So I'll throw that in with his box. I don't know. Are you so you might not know it, but if you're stealing Wi-Fi from Randy, Randy's actually stealing it from Walmart. So
And
like,
I'm actually
I don't know what happened.
on cellular data, not
it's
Wi-Fi.
like third bootlegged internet.
I actually just
People are
connected
saying
to
they're
my
starting
phone
to
as a
feel triggered
hotspot.
now.
Like, something happened with. I can hear my wife's actually streaming this upstairs. I can hear like myself talking upstairs for some reason, but and then I can't. I don't know. She's hogging all the Wi-Fi or something.
Come on, Sandy, quit being a Wi-Fi hog. It's okay. It happens. Yeah. So the Jordan, man, that's the Hawk. I feel the same way about that. I've got the Jordan Lee reel, and it's and I don't want to say that because it works well. It is casted well, and I haven't had a problem with it. But for like $109, I think is what it is. I think they've got better options. And Randy, I've actually got a couple for us to try coming.
Okay.
And maybe I shouldn't spoil the surprise, but I'm going to. Because yeah, people kind of hate on Abu. I mean, I've liked Abu in the past. I've
My
used their
Revo
stuff. I've
SX.
still got.
Sorry, my
Yeah, it's a
Revo
perfect
SX is a fantastic reel. Like
It's a
I love
sleeper
that.
reel.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Especially
a
for the
sleeper
price
reel,
point
sure.
too, right around $150 or so.
So I grabbed me and Randy. We might do this. Might show up actually on next week when we do the Christmas special. I'm gonna have a bunch of giveaways next week. Christmas giveaway, 'tis the season. But I grabbed Randy. I found a good price on these for us. The Abu Garcia Max Pro to try out. So this is it's essentially the same as the Max X, which is like a $50 reel.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, my favorite budget reel. You could get these for like $30. I don't know if Tackle Warehouse still has deals, but you can look other places. They don't right now. But this reel you can get for like 30 something bucks before on sale. My favorite right now as far as a good budget reel. But I grabbed us some of these, so we'll have to mess with these early next year. We can show them off and stuff. But I found some good prices on these.
So don't start looking up real prices. Sandy's watching upstairs. I said, don't start looking up real prices. The wife is watching upstairs.
Oh yeah, these are like $20.
It's crazy. Yeah, all of these
I think
reels are only $20. This one's $15. Wow, those are
15,
good.
this one's 15. This one's actually free. If you're on a Debo stream, this one's free. So those rods that you had out there, those are free. Yeah.
God, what is did you ever see that meme that was like, I surely hope someday that when I die that my spouse or whatever doesn't sell my gear for what I told her I paid for it.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was going to reference.
$10, $20.
No, she's cool. She's
heavy snow for you coming, Dizzle. That's what you get for being out there in Nebraska.
My wife's got a Luz Mach 1 combo in the garage. She's got a Dobbins, I think 795 with the Luz LFS on it. She's got big custom swim baits. Like here's another one. My wife's a big Coca-Cola person. This is my buddy Grass and Bass made this.
Oh yeah, hold on. Yeah, I wanted you to share that one, dude. That is sick. So it's like the old what are those?
Like the Slammer kind of bait.
Slammer,
style.
MS Slammer. Yeah.
Yeah. Little different, little smaller, I think, than his. But my wife's a big Coca-Cola person, and yeah, all red, white Coca-Cola. I found out the Coca-Cola colors. It's got the bottle, like the Coke bottle airbrushed over the
that's cool.
The hook hangers. Yeah. So yeah, my wife's got quite a few.
Yeah, that's the thing. Again, small bait makers. Where could you find that? You can't find that anywhere. Let alone somebody can do custom stuff like that. You know.
Yep.
Let's see. Oh yeah, Revo SX still $99 on Omnia. Absolute awesome price at $99. That's an awesome buy. That's what I got mine for on Amazon. They had them for $99. So look there, look other places.
Buy one just because it's a deal, right?
Justin Kahn, yep, a good budget reel Shimano SLX. I agree. The only thing with the Shimano SLX, I was just going to say, is the centrifugal brakes inside. I know some people can find them a little bit harder than like the magnetic brakes. But yeah, probably the smoothest $99 budget reel you get is the SLX, I would say.
My only complaint on the SLX is I've had people ask me what would be your recommended bait caster to get. I'd say, well, all right, for $100, an SLX is really tough to beat for $100. But if you're not familiar with adjusting the brakes, having to pull the cover to adjust the brakes could be something that someone may not be as comfortable with. So like the Abu or a Daiwa that has the external dial is a little bit easier to dial in for somebody new to baitcaster. So if you want to go back 4 years, how to never backlash or baitcaster again video, I don't know, some guy on the internet with a fake beard put that out a while ago. You want to go watch that.
Fake beard and says all these crazy words that make no sense.
Yeah. Shut up, Randy.
So the external
I hate baitcasters. Spinning rods and reels are better. Why are you putting this out here?
So I went baitcast combo earlier when you asked for combo. What's your go-to spinning combo?
I don't like spinning combos. They tangle everything
tough.
up.
So Hammer, real quick, I will say, since I have this up here, the SLX MGL I think is kind of a sleeper reel. That reel is a fun reel. Okay, so as far as
the MGL has that external adjustment too.
It does. It's got both. Yeah. So it's got the internal centrifugal, but it's got it actually moves the brass race closer or farther. So it gives you that adjustment of those centrifugal brakes. So instead of just having, you can only have 1 on, 2 on, 3 on, like that whole deal, like the SLX, you can still manipulate how many you've got on, but you can adjust the braking pressure because it's not straight. So it's not a straight piece like this. It's angled. So those brakes that are running around as it's going around, as you turn that dial and push it in farther, it's hitting that and making more what's the word? What would that
tension
be?
Or friction or
friction. There we
resistance.
go. Yeah, more friction on it. Yeah, resistance as opposed to backing it off. It's farther down, so it's just barely touching it, less resistance.
For somebody brand new, external brakes, I think, is key.
Yep. Okay, so Randy, what were you saying about spinning reels?
They tangle everything up, and I don't like them a whole lot. I did go out and I did pick up a pretty cheap. It was $100 lose combo. It's pretty solid. I have no complaints on it yet. I haven't caught anything on it, but it was late into the season, and it seemed like it was going to be a pretty decent rod. I don't remember what line I put on there.
Rich in the house. Rich, what's going on? He said family pre-Christmas event. So he's hanging out with the fam, sneaking some DEBO fishing in. I appreciate it, my friend.
DEBO, you throw a spinning combo?
I do. Yeah, my favorite spinning.
Loves them.
I don't mind fishing.
I'm
not the guy that's gonna say, "Oh, I have to get out the sissy stick, the fairy wand." That's never a deal for me. I'll fish it if that's what the bite is, unless it's a drop shot. I kid. The drop shots catch. It's just from the bank. Drop shots are not the best option. They catch so much stuff. But like Ned rig, wacky rig, I would say probably for the longest time the Fuego $99 Fuego was my favorite spinning reel. As far as rod, I don't have as many like spinning combos to compare to. I mean, I would say if I had to pick one, it'd probably be that Daiwa Tatula XT, and that was like a $70 rod when I got it.
What was the one that you used towards the end of this year, towards the end of this season? What was that spinning combo? It was ridiculous.
The Bass X rod?
It was ridiculously light.
Oh, it was the
what was that?
Oh, got Fenwick Elite Bass. I really like that one. That one, it was one that I had zero. Like I kind of thought it was gonna suck. Like I was like, I don't know. Like I had the Fenwick HMX and HMG, and they were pretty good rods, for the price. And I got this, and I was like, I haven't heard anything out of Fenwick forever, and it was one that really, really surprised me.
I was just gonna say, I haven't heard that name in the longest time.
Yeah, it kind of fell off. So
it's funny you say that about Fenwick. South Jersey Fishing just brought up something about the Quantum KVD smokes. Just Quantum in general. When's the last time you've seen something in reference to Quantum?
Vassal's Chap too. Yeah, dude, Quantum used to be the deal. I used to fish, all Quantum. Bill Dance back in the day. Dad and I loved Quantum, and that's one that just kind of fell off. It was one of the big three back then, and.
If you want to get somebody into fishing and you want to spend not a ton of money, Like we can go nuts with bait cast combos and all this. Like you mentioned a few that were $100 reel for under $100. That Fluger President combo, you can get them at
Oh,
Dick's,
yeah.
you can get them at Bass Pro. On that, it's like an IM6 Bass Pro. It's like a $40 graphite. Their blue rod, like the 6.6 medium heavy. I think it's either 2,500 or 3,000. Like Fluger President combo for $79. You can get them on sale.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Find me a better setup for less money.
I think I have maybe 6 or 7 spinning rod combos. I know 4 of those are loose, and one of them is the presidential. It's a presidential rod and reel. It's one of the oldest ones I have.
Yeah.
And then I have another presidential reel on a St. Croix Triumph rod. It's like a 7-foot Triumph. It can't go wrong with them. They're solid. They're a little bit heavier. The ones I have are older. I haven't really gotten into any of the newer ones. They are a little bit heavier compared to the newer stuff, but overall they're solid.
That President spinning reel is fantastic for the money. I even think the reel's maybe $70 for just the reel. I think you get like a $75 reel and like a $40-ish rod, and you can get them for $79 on sale. Fantastic. And especially if somebody who doesn't want to learn a bait caster right now but wants to get into fishing, I mean, you could throw just about anything in your. I mean, you're not going to throw crazy stuff like this, but you could throw just about anything in your tackle box on that. And I think those are good from like maybe an 1/8 to 3/4, something like that. Like they can handle some heavier stuff.
Yep.
$50 to $100 reel. What would it be to do it all? I'm assuming.
So I was going to hold on. We're going to talk about that one. So for Arthur's box.
Oh dang!
I thought this was set up to go here. All right, there we go. So for Arthur's box, hashtag Fish Daddy. We got to give a special shout out to Arthur. One, thanks for joining us. Glad we could strong arm you into joining and talking with us. And 2, thanks for giving away a box of stuff that you made, dude. You didn't need to do that. I'll throw in some of my stuff that I made, but he's going to throw in a box of all the stuff that he's got ready for some stuff that he's going to do for show up there. So I appreciate that. So hashtag Fish Daddy. So for $50 to $100 reel, I think we'll talk casting probably.
Just a quick mention. Somebody suggested the Daiwa Regal. I've got one of those too. That's a fantastic reel for $60, man. Like
yes, RG is an awesome
excellent.
reel.
Devo, do you have any
I've
Regals?
actually been. I do. It's the RG. Yeah, that's the one I have for my trout combo. Remember that day we went trout fishing and I caught a bunch of fish on it that day, Randy? You remember that? I don't know.
No,
I don't remember if you caught any that day or not. You'd have to remind me. I don't remember for sure, but I caught a bunch.
He might have blocked it out. Might have been a tough day for him.
I love you, Randy. I love you, Randy. Yeah, the RG, and actually, I've been fishing the Laguna, which is like a $40 reel, I want to say, from Daiwa spinning, and I absolutely love it. That was on it was on a more expensive rod too. The whole combo felt great, so it didn't feel like. I guess what I was getting at was it was only a $40 spinning reel. So, but again, I'm not fishing inshore. I'm not fishing 20-pound fish that I'm catching on. I'm talking bass, up to like 5 pounds on these, kind of on the regular. I shouldn't even say regular, but like that range, you don't need something that's going to stand up to, aluminum body, aluminum side plates as much on a spinning reel, I'll say. But if you're catching consistent bigger fish, where you're really fighting, I think it does come into play. And I think it comes into play a lot more on a bait caster. So that's why I'm, when you talk about that $50 to $100 price point, if you can get up to a $99 bait caster with an aluminum frame, they just last a lot longer. Heavier baits, more hook set, harder hook set, drag is up more. I just think they last longer than, an all carbon framed spinning reel. So that's just me. But so $50 to $100. My pick is most of the time going to be a $99 Lose LFS. Look for it on sale. Tackle Warehouse just had them for $80 at the 20% off. You can get an LFS for $80, $79 is kind of my pick. But I mean, we had people talking about the SLX for a $99 reel. Awesome pick. I I'm kind of pissed that Daiwa moved the Fuego out of the $99 price point. I think it's like 110 or 15 or something. You know, they've got the Tattooless CT, which is like 120 something, $125, which is a great reel, but I don't know. I wish they had like just an.
I was gonna
go
say
ahead.
the CT. I've got one of those. I thought it was right around that. I might have paid like 109 for it. Something like you can get one on sale, but yeah, 50 to 100. Yeah, go buy a Revo SX right now. Somebody said they had them for 100.
Right. Yeah. Omnia. I think people said Omnia. I don't know if it's just lefties. I want to say there were lefties only there for a while. They might have got more in, but yeah, Revo SX for $99 is a steal.
I can't believe they put the handle on the wrong side on some of those reels.
I know you put it like a right hand retrieve. That makes no sense.
Randy, how about you? 50 to 100,
Right-handed
$100.
is the
What are you
right
picking for a bait caster?
I'm going for the bait casting reel, correct?
Yeah, casting reel. Yep.
Yep. Shimano. The SLX
Yeah.
it's such a quality reel.
So I was going to talk about that. Randy has kind of become, I think, a Shimano snob a little bit.
I'm a Shimano fanboy. Yeah, I did almost
all right.
pick up
That's all right.
a Daiwa, kind of higher end Daiwa the other day, but I didn't. I backed off of it because I thought I could get a better deal than the 250 or 300 that they were asking.
Yeah, I do like that you, whether you like to admit it or not, you do get into the Daiwa stuff now, which I appreciate. But yeah, we're not only Daiwa, Shimano snobs. We use everything. It's fun to test stuff out. So
yeah, definitely. They all have their
let's
pros and their cons. For me, my biggest things is the grip, that Shimano grip that Debo, you'll jump in and tell everybody right away that I hated them. Or excuse me, the loose grip, the bigger round wind type of grips.
Oh,
I hated them at first. Hated them. And after a few outings, I was like, man, I love these things. I can always, for me, it was easy enough to not even be looking, reach down, get a good purchase on it, and, you know, just not have to worry about not getting a good hold of the actual handle itself.
I'm not going to read it, but Jay Walls with the comment there. Jay Walls, you want to tune in next week? There's some fun stuff. Oh my God, Justin, that Daiwa Zillion. Justin's got my heart with that one. Best baitcaster on the market right now, in my opinion.
I agree with Randy. That SLX $100 bill, tough to beat. Unless my only thing, I'd say not only, but something better than that is if you could get something like the Revo SX, or if you can find a Tatula CT on sale. Like if you can get something better on sale for $100, but regular price $100, SLX is real tough to beat.
Hey, are we talking fresh off the shelf, or are we also throwing out there the option of don't just handcuff yourself? Make sure you check out good websites online for used stuff as well, because $100 is a different category overall. Yeah.
Actually, we should check that quick. I think I can switch what I'm sharing. Okay, so we're 134.
You're not sharing anything right now. Just
I know. I'm switching over here. So hashtag Fish Daddy. Let's see if we can get it to 150. We have 250 people watching. There's no way we can't get it. Spread the love for Arthur. 150 people, unless you're Joshua Simonson, because you've won 75 giveaways.
Somebody said bougie, so cheers.
Yeah, old bougie Fish Daddy drinking that Voss over there. Let me stop sharing that one, and we'll go over, because I think American Legacy. I didn't see Gramps in here. He was in for a minute ago, a while back, and I was going to bring it up. Say, hey, Gramps. Yeah, he's probably with the kiddos hanging out. The grand babes.
They got some. They got that concepts. They got a concept C
American
out there for $127. I know mine was a lot more than that.
So I think they have.
There's some good deal suggestions in the comments. Tatula CT for $75 recently. Somebody had a Revo.
Ooh, yeah, that's a steal. $75. I'll take that.
Gen 4 Abu STX for a 106 on closeout. Like, if you shop around 100, you can get something pretty serious for $100.
I think that's what it was. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it was the Revo SX. I think it was the STX, the white one, which is like $200 that I got for $99 on Amazon was the one. Either one you can get for $99 is, yeah, I'll take it.
Part of the reason I have that Veritas rod and it is with a Revo SX reel. Not that it bugs me, but I saw somebody with the I forget the name of the combo. It was almost there. It was like the Zada, but they had Abu had the all white combo. I was like, oh, I want to grab that all white setup, and nobody
Oh,
had
it
them
was
in
the
a heavy enough
Roxani.
rod.
It was
Yes.
like the brown Roxani. Yeah.
I wanted an all white one, but I ended up with the Revo SX reel. Like, it would have been cool to have a white reel on there. Whatever, not a big deal. I kind of like matching stuff. Like, if I get an Abu reel, I like throwing on an Abu rod. But whatever.
Matchy, huh?
Yes. Well, yes and no. Like Dobbins. I mean, if I'm fishing a Dobbins rod, I'm not gonna. There's no Dobbins reel, so I'm gonna throw a Tatula 200 on there.
There's times I like to go out and just put together the most ugly, disgusting looking combo I can just to throw that.
There's some
So I
crazy
was gonna
rod colors.
Yeah, I was going to suggest this one. I don't know what Tatula rod that is.
Jeez.
I thought it was the Tatula XT for 189 bucks. I was going to say that's got the CT we were just talking about.
So that's
the
what,
XT, but
$120 reel.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what rod that is.
They
But
got
the
like
whole reason I went here was for this. They have 20% off used gear right now. So like Randy was saying, come out here and look for some used stuff.
Yeah.
they got
I've got a bunch of
3
stuff from here
Xeons out here.
used. And I've got everything, I think, in excellent condition usually, and it looks like it has never been even used, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they've got a bunch of stuff. If you never checked them out, I have
Do
bought.
their I don't
quite
know.
a
Do
few
their
from them, too.
discounts stack with the used stuff? Can you get discounts on the used?
I don't
I don't
know.
know if
So
it
I would
works that way.
say, yeah. So Gramps 10, I always use that. So like here, for example, so
Yeah.
here's a Veritas 2.0, which these are the older version, which are great rods, $63 for normally $100 rod.
Yeah.
If we throw that in there and use the Gramps code, can we go here and try it? So let's see. I don't know if they will.
Because if that
Gramps
stacks,
10.
if the discount code stacks, that's a pretty good deal. It's a really good deal already.
They got some. Speak of the devil, they got 1, 2, 3, 4.
It does not stack. So yeah, you get the 20% off there, but it does not stack. So
But that's already a good deal. Like that, I mean, that'd be
yeah,
ridiculous. If,
$63 for that rod if you're looking for something. And like I said,
Yeah.
the stuff in excellent condition is like it's never been used before. So
They got 4 different quantums out here, Debo.
used Google. What's the website? It's American Legacy. So AmericanLegacyFishing.com. American Legacy Fishing. So they're doing their 12 Days of Christmas. Of course, Tackle Warehouse is doing their stuff. Obviously, I partnered up with them, so I always want to try to send you that way because I get a little kickback, but I will never shy away from sending you to a place where you can get a little bit better deal.
Mm-hmm.
They did have these two, the Lose LFS KVD for $115. Not a bad
Debo,
deal. I
if you
think
go-
those are like $140.
If you go back
yeah,
a page
$150.
quick, I saw a Daiwa deal. What was that on there?
That was those Tatula combos.
Oh, right, that's what it was. All right, I didn't read the whole thing. I just saw like something 99. All right.
It says a 229, but I don't know what rod that is. I thought it was the Tatula XT, those new ones, but it's not. So I don't know what rod that is. I was trying to look. They only have one picture of it, but it's not the XT. It's just a Tatula rod. I'm not familiar with that one.
Hey, question for you. As far as Arthur, are you a quick reel guy, a fast speed, like a high gear ratio, or are you low gear ratio? What is your go-to?
I've got
Like
so
speed.
if I'm high 6s, low 7s, typically, like I'll hang around that point. I have a Shimano. I bought 2, and one of them I wasn't as impressed with, and I went up a step. It was the for their round size, for their round style. Is it the Cardiff?
Okay.
I believe it was
Debo,
their
question
Cardiff.
for you, buddy.
Yeah.
Shimano Cardiff, yeah.
Yeah, and that's around like $140. I've got one of those, and that's like a 5.3 to 1, something like that, a little bit slower. But sometimes on some of these bigger baits, you might want to reel a bit slower.
Yeah.
So I've got one of those, but typically if I'm buying a reel, it's around that like high 6, low 7. I know some guys throw faster stuff. Like there's the Abu Revo Rocket, which is what, a 10 to 1 almost.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But they'd rather have a faster reel when they need it and then slow it down. So I guess it's easier to reel a fast reel slow than a slow reel fast. Does that make sense?
Or
do you agree with that?
I understand the concept, but I would definitely disagree. I would rather go with the slower. I've had a couple of reels in the 8s, and I can't make myself slow down enough.
I agree. I can't, if I'm fishing, it's easier for me to speed up than it is to slow down and to remember, like, hey, take a step back, fish slower.
Mm-hmm.
It's easier to just speed up.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
I mean, anybody in chat that's been in more than one of these would confirm that I am a big proponent of audibly telling myself to slow down. Like, I will out loud tell myself, slow down, slow down, slow down, slow down. So, just me.
Slow down, Randy.
If that's for me,
eBay?
custom baits, I'm going to try and put some on my website soon. I don't think I'll have some before Christmas. I'm really trying to get like 50 or 60 boxes before the show. But I'll try to. If you shoot me a DM on Instagram at FishDaddy401, maybe I'll let you know what I have if you're interested. So if I have something made up that you're actually interested in, we could do something that way. And if you're talking to Debo, I'm sure he can. He updates his website every so often.
Yeah, I've actually got a drop. So for anybody new in here, I was just talking about this before. I made up a special one for Fish Daddy, the cheetah print with. I've got some. You can't really tell, but it's like a Lucky Charms glitter. It's like red, green, blue, yellow, like all kinds of colors. I got there, and it is signed by yours truly. And those hooks are sharp. So yeah, I plan on tomorrow getting all those up. I think I have like 25 maybe topwater baits.
Oh, wow.
They're all all topwater baits like that in different colors and stuff. But if you're asking me, so we also did click our 150. So let's give that away, and then maybe a couple questions, and we'll get out of here. I can't believe we're already at 2 hours 11 minutes. I did not know we were.
I didn't realize it was that long either.
I see a question from Fishing the Southeast at 10:45 too. If you want to put that up, I can answer that.
Okay, I'm gonna
after you spin this. Yeah, let that run.
I am sharing, right? Yes. Okay. Uh-oh.
No Canadians at present to win.
Threat protection just popped up here. I don't know what that is.
Chango
Mango. I like the name. Chango Mango. Are you in here? I don't know that name. If you're in here, I don't know that you comment a ton, but it's a new person. It's not rigged.
90 seconds and you get the RIP and we spin it again. I'm
Yep, he's not here.
He's
okay,
in.
We're spinning again.
947.
Hey, he's here.
947.
947. Why am I not seeing? Oh, Chango. All right.
Let's go.
If you will send me a email to debosfishing@gmail.com.
Oh, see, yeah, that would be 9:45 your time. I forget. I'm an hour ahead, so
hour
10:45.
So that's the Fish Daddy. And Randy, I honestly can't thank you enough for getting me this, because this has saved me so much for giveaways, because I lose people's stuff in the inboxes and through emails, and I know exactly who it's going through. So when I sit here and do orders, I match them up and make sure I've actually got people, because somebody reached out to me before I started doing this. I have not missed a single order since Randy got me the whiteboard. Was it Roger? I think it might have been Roger that reached out to me and was like, "Hey man, I love you. I hope I don't come off as a prick, but you did a giveaway a while ago and I was really looking forward to getting your lure." So I'm like, "Oh crap." And it's been like 5 months ago. And I'm like, yeah, I went through and looked at postage stuff on my thermal printer.
There we go. Drink.
Yeah, and I
Dizzle
got it
stole.
To him, so I'm like,
Dizzle owes me the door off his refrigerator too. I guess the number of stickers on there.
Oh yeah.
Was that what the prize was?
I believe it was the door off the refrigerator, right? Is that the deal?
I don't remember that, but I mean it was a pretty good guess. I think that might have been something. I'll get you a door off at DEBO'S fridge and call it good.
And you said at 47 was for Fish in the Southeast?
9:45 or 10:45 my time.
9:45. Okay.
Dang, Fishing in the Southeast said bought a thermal printer, shipped out 36 orders today.
What? Fish in the Southeast did? Hell yeah, dude. Good stuff. Dude, thermal printers are a life changer.
Well, you guys aren't
game changer.
You gues aren't filling these out. Wait, pull out the wrong thing. You guys aren't filling these out by hand like I do.
No. Coming from a guy that drinks Voss water, I figured you'd have like 5 thermal printers.
Nope.
With the Wi-Fi hooked up, print anywhere.
So I don't know
anything.
I don't know the exact number. I don't know if Amanda and Jason are watching. They could probably look at my account history and give you a count. I'd say, if I had to guess,
I bet you probably only got like 5, right?
so there's 2 different things. I've got multiples of the same mold. Like I have 3 5-inch stickwear mold. I have
I have to switch to
3
my
5.6
Budweiser.
spray
I've
bait
had those
molds.
out. I was listening to music earlier.
So some of them I have multiples of, but I'd say for different designs, I'd have to say 40, and I probably have around 55, 60 molds total.
That's crazy.
If that's and so another thing too, I only shoot Epic bait molds. Like that's it. Epic. I don't own any other for aluminum molds. I don't own any other molds. I've completely changed my inventory of molds over to Epic, but I do have a few custom silicone molds. I know you guys know Papa Red. I've got one of his Trusty Toad molds. I've got the old Marling. If you go back and watch like early Marling days, he made a poison dart frog mold. I've got a pair of those. I've got some pretty cool silicone molds from friends. Noah Allen Clark on Instagram. His name's Outdoorsman Clark. He makes a coffin craw, a really nice craw open pore silicone mold. But for store bought like production aluminum, it's all Epic. But I've got, I don't know, a big variety of them.
Sorry, I was eating ice. Duck here with a good question. What do you all think about hog salad bait molds? Ghillie Sears. I've never heard of them. Have you?
I've heard of Hog Salad. I haven't shot any of theirs. I've heard some good stuff about them. There's a lot of groups on Facebook. There's some soft plastic bait making Q&A. There's a few groups on there that you could probably put that question out to. But like I said, I don't have any Hog Salad molds. I've shot a few other manufacturers, but not them in particular. But from what I could recall, I've heard good stuff about them.
This was a good one earlier from Dave.
Yeah.
Dave, I'm sorry I had that up for a second. Yeah. So anybody making your baits, especially plastics, dude, ventilation has to be a big thing because plastisol stinks like hell, and I'm sure it can't be good for you. So, like down here, I don't know if you can really see it right there from my airbrushing. So I've got like a little. I bought it on Amazon. It's just a little. Like you could make your own. I've seen guys make their own, but I just bought a little one for my table. It's got 2 fans in it. It sucks everything out. Then I made a frame for my window back there, and then I used like gosh, I don't even know what you call it. Insulated
dryer vent kind of stuff.
Yeah, insulated dryer vent stuff. Obviously, because it's cold as hell out. So to help, I don't know how much it does, but pulls all that out. Now in my soft plastic making, I do all that in the garage with the garage door open because there's no way I could do that inside.
Yeah. Same here. When I fish, if anybody watches me on Instagram, I've got the garage door wide open. I'm 6 feet away from the opening of the garage door. I've got when I'm at my table on my right side, I've got a box fan. I run that 90% of the time. When I'm doing an open pour, like this, when I'm doing an open pour and I've got the mold and I'm trying to really drizzle something and get like a nice stream of plastic in there, I'll kill the fans for a minute as I'm pouring. But then they go right back on. And then on my left side, I have like a clip-on little round desk fan. So I get some cross flow of air. So it's blowing air across, and then it's a larger fan moving it out. I don't wear any respirator, but from what I've heard, like an organic vapor respirator is what a lot of guys wear that pour, not indoors, but more of a closed-in environment. I'm basically pouring outside.
I do too. Yeah, I will. Go ahead.
If you guys watch me in 2 months, like in February, when it's snowing outside and 20 degrees, I'll be outside with my hat on, with the ear flaps, and pouring while it's snowing out. But so I almost pour outdoors. Probably should still wear a ventilator, but or a mask. But that's there you go. DEBO'S got the gear right there.
Hey, I was gonna ask why DEBO does his Darth Vader impression. What's your water like up there? Is it usually clean? What's the structure? Is it grassy? Is it rocky? Is it muddy?
We fish 12 feet of weeds here in Rhode Island.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, like a lot of the ponds and lakes I fish in my area. I'm in northern Rhode Island. I find a lot of spots are 10, 12 feet. You might find a hole 17, 18 feet. So nothing crazy deep. A lot of weeds. And then structure is little like riprap areas, kind of rocky areas. You might get like a Christmas tree pile in a pond, stuff like that. But nothing too crazy. But like if you think more pond fishing, there's a spot I can get out of work, hook the boat up, and get in the water within a half an hour of being out of work nearby, and that's 100-acre pond. So I'm not fishing giant areas out here.
Sure. Interesting. I was just wondering, just for the simple idea of what you were talking about, you like throwing as far as the big swim baits and things like that. It's you just wonder what you're fishing through, and not throwing a chatterbait either, which was or not preferring a chatterbait, I should say.
Yeah, I mean, so if I was gonna go, I think I'd go spinnerbait over chatterbait though. Like that'd be why.
Sure.
My buddy Debo knows Matt, Klondike Custom Creations. Like I'd rather throw. Matt does make, I'm sorry, bladed jigs because nobody else can call them a chatterbait. But I'll throw one of his bladed jigs, but I'd rather throw a spinnerbait than a chatterbait if I'm going to throw something like that, fast moving, something like that.
Yeah, one thing I'll say quick: anybody that airbrushes. So for the longest time, I only wore the mask respirator piece. This one, dude, because every time I would get done painting, my eyes would be like they would itch forever. And you don't realize how much overspray and like paint goes like out. It's crazy. This thing has been a savior for me. I paint for hours and have zero issues. Like my, nothing respiratory. I don't know that you'd necessarily feel it with airbrush paint, but I mean, no sort of stuff. So I would say don't be afraid to skimp on safety gear. I would rather wear this and just be safe than like chance it. So you can call me stupid, but that thing has been a savior for my eyes. So
I can feel the oil. You've poured plastics. I don't know if you've done much for open pours. Open pours, I get it more. If I'm doing injection stuff, you only have that cup kind of giving off fumes, if you will, and then and when you're doing injecting, you're injecting it, and it's only that small opening in. I'll show an injection mold quick. That small 5/8 opening in the top of the mold, so you're not putting that much plastic into the air. When you're doing open pours, it's a cup open. You're getting close to what you're pouring. Then you've got this massive aluminum, this big chunk of aluminum with all your open molds that's kind of still off gassing. You can feel that like on your forehead and on your skin when you get done pouring for a while. I don't know if you noticed that.
I've actually, so from pouring with Rundle and those guys over at the Bait Cave, when I would leave there, my voice would be like hoarse. So like the last time I went over with them, I'm like, I've got to wear a mask because when I pour in my garage, if I don't wear a mask, like my voice feels hoarse. Like it feels like from breathing.
I can see that.
In. So
that's why I pour garage door wide open. I've poured in Rundle's shop. His is at the other end of the shop. I'm literally right by the door. Yeah. Listen, I know. I was trying to show like when you're doing open pours, like here's kind of I got a decent picture here. Like I'm pouring, like that's a whole bunch of molds all side by side, all open. So you have that much surface area exposed. When you're doing injection stuff, just to give people a quick kind of rundown that might be looking to get into baits. This is an open pour mold. So it's a 2-piece mold. You pour your plastic in here, heat it on a hot plate so you don't get any cold cracks, but it's an open mold. The top is open all the way across here. When you're dealing with injection molds, you use a vise or a set of clamps and you clamp the mold shut. We're using an injector, a big syringe, and injecting through here, and that injects down through right here, down through it. It fills each cavity of the mold as you inject it. So that's the two differences. Yes, this is a marathon stream.
Rich, Voss Water sponsored us tonight, so we have to meet our 3-hour minimum. No, we're having fun tonight. Randall Pink Floyd making fun of my hair. Come on, man. It's not that bad, is it? I don't know. I was sweating a little bit.
I wasn't going to touch that one at all.
Dude, look at this. I'm starting to get the peaks from getting older. I'm 38. Look at those peaks, dude. 39, I guess now. Oh, they're starting to run back a little. But I'm not bald yet, so I can still
me neither.
Or
not
comb
at all.
it over. Hey, Randy, let's see your hairline.
Not even.
See this? Look, My hair was jet black when I got married, so
Yeah, I'm starting to get the grays running through now too.
I get made fun of because I started with a patch like where is it? This patch right here started. This was like 4 years ago, and since then it's just and it's more gray white than anything else.
last time I shaved my beard, my middle one said that she goes, "Dad, you look like a baby," because I had no like. I think my wife. I'm gonna pick on her a bit too. I hope, hopefully, she's still watching and she hears it. I think she tells me, "No, I love your beard. Don't shave it." Yeah, because if I shaved it, I'd look 20 years younger. Like I'd have a baby face, and then somebody else would look like they're older than I am. They'll say, "Oh, is this your son?" Instead of to her, "Is this your dad with you?"
I look like a creeper if I don't have it. All right, well that's it. We'll do one more question. What are we gonna do? One more question, then we're getting out of here.
Let's make it a good one. What do we got?
Flow through the visor. I'm not visor gang hella. I think I've worn maybe one visor my whole life, and I didn't get it. I feel like the top of my head was cold, and I don't know. Let's see. Oh, Rob said he hasn't shaved for 11 years. He also has a nice beard though.
God,
Rob's
I don't.
Rob's got a good beard.
It's been 2016 or 17 since I've been without beard.
Topwater West says I've learned everything about fishing from Dizzle, and he hasn't even put out a vid yet. Oh my gosh, Randall.
There's a really good video out there if you guys want to know how to remove hooks. There's actually a couple of good videos DEBO'S got up how to remove hooks from the body. Those are always fun.
I can answer that really quick for Pong Yang. So open pores. The best thing you can learn when you're, in my opinion, when you're first learning to open pour, the best thing you can do, learn heat management, like get a hot plate, learn how to pour and get good lamination between the two different colors you're pouring so they stick together and won't come apart. Meaning, if you have poor lamination between these two lines here, like this would separate and the top and middle of the bait would peel right apart. So you want good lamination between your colors. But if you overpour, you can only overpour by so much. So if you overpour this, when you're done, you can press on the edge here and clean that up, or I've got like some sharp scissors here. Once you demold this, you can trim up the edges and clean it up a little bit. So don't be afraid to overpour if you're learning. But and that comes as you practice a bit. You learn just how much to put plastic in, like just how much to fill your mold. So don't be afraid to overpour. Worry more about good, clean lamination in the beginning.
Art did ask this one, and then I know there's one from Fishing the Southeast, so we'll do two more. So eyes on a swim jig or no? Is there a difference? Man, I go back and forth on little details. I think if the eye is contrasting enough, maybe, but I think with a lot of reaction baits, like if that fish is hungry, I think it's more of a big profile or Walmart's Rain Dizzle's Walmart internet went out. I think it's more of a profile or overall color. Like if that goes by a fish by a log. Oh, hey, you're back, Randall. You look handsome as ever.
I was getting a phone call.
Oh, okay. I think it's a profile thing and oftentimes location thing more than does the swim jig have an eye or not. Now I think it will catch more fishermen. Like if you're making your own stuff, I think it looks better overall. Like I would buy one with an eye before I would not, because if it gets me one more bite, why not? But in the grand scheme of things, probably not. I don't know.
So for plastics, I mean, it's a little off topic from swim jigs, but for plastics, like no eye versus eye, like they just don't look finished unless you put eyes on them.
It brings them to life. Like adding eye on a crankbait.
Would you stop throwing a bait if it lost an eye?
Nope, I'd keep throwing it.
Like it does bring it to life. Would this bait catch a fish without the eye? Sure. But like, I don't know. Yeah, it just doesn't look right for this one.
Depends on if it's catching Dizzle. If it's catching fish, yeah, I'd keep throwing it. But if you haven't caught anything on it and lose an eye, like, all right, throw it away.
It's the eye's fault. Get it out of here.
Yep.
Take it to the curb.
Okay, and then last one before we get out of here, Fishing the Southeast, this or that, salt or no salt in your baits. I've actually never done salt or a sinking additive in any of my baits yet.
So is that a question for making baits or using baits?
Let's say using baits. Well, Dizzle, your experiences with using. Let's see what you think for using them, because I've got an opinion on this too.
Using, it depends on what my application is. If I'm throwing something weightless, I don't want a whole lot of salt because I want it to float a little bit more. If I want it to sink a little bit faster, I want something. It's just going to depend on what the application is. There's I guess, too many variables as far as where I'm fishing, how I'm fishing, what I'm fishing for. It's tough to say.
So if the question is salt for, if it's more for making baits and you want to add weight and add a bit of, not really density, but if you want to add weight to the bait,
Or
salt,
sinking ability. Yeah, if you have a floating plastisol and it's not going to sink on its own. So like when I made stick baits with a floating plastisol, it just doesn't work. You've got to either add like a weighted wacky hook to it to get it to sink, or salt or some sort of sinking additive to get it to.
So I don't like using salt in particular. If I do add anything, I buy my plastic from Bait Plastics. They offer a sinking additive on their website. It seems like it's just glass, almost like not sand, but nice clear glass. I'll use that instead of salt, because salt, if they ever get wet, you guys ever find not picking on Senkos, but you ever find a Senko or a bait that has actual salt in it in the boat for a few days, that moisture?
It just
they
expands,
blow right up. And almost once you fish with it, not that we're saving worms here, but if you're fishing with a bait with salt in it, once that salt absorbs moisture, you really can't, that's it. You're kind of done with that a little bit. If it's sinking additive, it's more inert. It's not going to absorb moisture, but you'll get the added weight that you're looking for. But particularly, I'm not crazy about adding anything extra into them. But yeah, if customers want sinking additive or for that salt kind of effect, like a Senko, I can do that. You'd be surprised when you start making baits and look at some of the recipes. I think Senkos are like 25-30% salt in their plastisol. Like, it's a ton of salt in there. So that's my spiel on salt.
That's our salty spiel.
Hey,
All right,
Debo, remember that one time you made some lures and kind of forgot to add any salt whatsoever?
Yeah. Well, that's a perfect example. I didn't even think about it. I made a bunch of really cool stick baits. The Senko mold from
they looked really good.
Looked sick. I threw them out there. I'm like, why the hell is this thing not sinking? Like, what did I do something wrong here? Oh yeah, it's a floating plastisol. So then I had to rig it instead of a Texas rig. I had to throw it on like a weighted wacky rig, which is fine. I like throwing that anyway. But just something to think about. For a new bait maker, you can't just get a regular plastisol and it's going to sink like a Gary Yamamoto Senko. You've got different types of plastisol. Different. Some are like from where you get them from. I know they have like the super. I don't want to say flimsy. That's not the right word. Super like supple, like
soft blends. But yeah. So you start with blends and worm blends, like an extra soft, and then you can go all the way to some really durable saltwater stuff that will hold up to pike and muskie. But the one end you lose durability, but you gain tons of action. The other end you lose action, but you gain tons of durability. So it's that balance in between the two.
And that's kind of the same thing you find in, lures from the store too. Gary Yamamoto Senko is a perfect thing. Durability sucks, but it's probably the best catching Senko, stick bait on the market as far as weightless. So yeah, it's always kind of that trade-off, durability versus, kind of action and stuff. But listen, we're at 2 hours and 30 minutes. This is one of the longest streams we've done. Arthur, for anybody that doesn't know you, Fish Daddy 401, where can they find you?
Instagram, Fish Daddy 401. Same on Facebook, YouTube. I have a store, I believe Fish Daddy 401 is a website, but if you go to my Instagram bio, you can find the store. It might be Fish Daddy 401, like I use Big Cartel, so it's like a Big Cartel store through Fish Daddy 401. However, you insert the name into the URL. But it's on my Facebook, my Instagram profile too. So, or shoot me a DM and find me on there.
Yeah, hit him up on Instagram. We already broke his 3K mark, which I appreciate everybody for doing that. Dizzle, everybody follow Dizzle. I linked him in the description below. We're trying to get Tim to 1,000 subs without a single video. I think we're going to do it here before long. But
Debo, I did just want to say, this is the last.
We got you 30-some tonight.
Hold on. This is the last thing I want to kind of cover before we kind of get off of here. And
get ready for another 10 minutes. Randy's on a soapbox here.
And by cover, I just want to throw it out there, and I don't need anybody to comment on anything, but we haven't necessarily even brought it up. So Guggen.
We didn't get into Guggen. The reason I didn't is because next week may or may not be full of Guggen.
Oh, jeez.
Guggenfest 22.
Guggenfest 22 to blow out the year. Clamshells, Guggens, spiders,
Oh,
everything that
buddy.
Randy loves for Christmas. I'm just saying it might be a fun stream. I might have some stuff that I got ready for it. So listen, we're getting out of here. Thanks, Arthur, Fish Daddy. Thanks, Dizzle, of course.
Thank
And
you
thank
for
you,
having me.
everybody who watches, members, no members, don't care what you are. Love y'all. Thanks. And until next time.